Chapter 45:28. Chapter 45:28 Command? Non-existent. Not to mention a will, even if it is really the supreme existence, Long Fei will not be embarrassed. If you can't do it, you will die. Now, his experience is a breakthrough, only the last 4 billion experience. Just killing 2 people is enough. If you are not good, you can devour the experience, Dan. When the time is upgraded, the hand of the avenue will come out and control who you are. And as the dragon's voice fell, above the void, the will suddenly slammed, and immediately burst into a raging anger, and even directly formed a face of nothingness. Is it you? I don't think you are really difficult. In this world of celestial beings, you can still live to the present. However, even if you are a variable, it will not help. This is the road to death. It is your death. This seat, waiting for you at the end of Tongxian Road. On the void, the 5 senses disappeared. Long Fei looked coldly and said nothing. Can you see through me? Is it the person I know? Long Fei's heart was puzzled. Immediately, a figure gradually emerged in the mind of Long Fei. Moreover, it is becoming more and more obvious. It's him. Long Fei's heart was shocked. I thought of the figure that appeared on the starry sea. At this time, it coincides with the will that came before. Suddenly, Long Fei's heart suddenly broke. Very shocking. Long Fei can even be sure that this figure must be related to his mainline mission on Tongxian Road. Make trouble anyway, justify it. For a time, Long Fei's heart sparked again. It's just right, if the 3rd stage of the mission is you, then it's a fight to devour 50 experience, Dan, and Lao Tzu will explode you. Long Fei thought of it. On the next moment, above the void, Tongxian Monument suddenly fell and rushed into the endless abyss. Long Fei's cold eyes are opposite, silent. He knows that the next battlefield is finally over and will soon enter this world. One thought of this, Long Fei thought of a move, control the throne of the white fog, directly into the endless sea of bones. And the endless bones, at this time, because of the operation of Long Fei, and hidden between the heavens and the earth, disappeared without a trace. At this time, on the 2nd battlefield, it has become a paradise on earth. Broken arm wreckage is everywhere. Shan Haizong suffered the most, with more than 20,000 people entering it, leaving only 2,000. The Dark Xianmazong has 3,000 people. 3,000 people on the water side. The dragon is 1,002, and the demon is nearly 10,000. Together with Long Fei and Jianma, it's just a good, full 30,000 people. And as the numbers reach, there is a roar above the void. Tongxianbei directly enters through this endless vortex. Rumble. The 100-meter Tongxianbei Bureau stands directly on the battlefield and is magnificent. And everyone was awakened at this time. Countless people still hang on the face of the haze when they kill. But at this moment, I woke up and looked at the numerous bodies around me, and my face was sad again. But this grief, not too long, just disappeared in a flash. Instead, it is an excitement. Because now, the appearance of the Tongxian Monument is equivalent to saying that they have already passed the 2nd battlefield, one step closer to the opportunity they want. Fake, a group of idiots, just killing, and now I want to be a virgin. Jianma opened the ramp. For these people, there is really no way to spit. If it is really the same brother and sister, how can it hurt the killer? After all, everything is not as important as their chance in their eyes. Dragons is not okay and does not speak. At this time, the Tongxian Monument began to flash infinitely. Then, a series of characters emerged on it. The 5th place. On the water side, the amount of elimination is 20 million. 4th place. Yaozu, the amount of elimination is 2 million. 3rd place. Dragons, the amount of elimination is 25,000. The picture appears here and pauses slightly. And among the crowd, it caused embarrassment again. Up to now, there is only one first, one second. Without quotation, it will be born in Chushanhai and the magic sense. You know, this time, the first one can get undead qualifications and a superb artifact. What is this? This is basically the same as the premise of Tongxian Road. As long as you get these things, you will have a hard time through Tongxian Road. It must be my mountain Haizong, my legendary, the Taoist law is supreme, I can certainly get these. Shan Haizong disciple said. Far fart is the talent of my dark mysterious demon. The dark mysterious disciples directly. Is you a fart, and you have a group of friends who can't see the light, and dare to contaminate the opportunity of Tongxian Road? Garbage stuff. Your mountain Haizong disciple is very strong? If you don't accept it, then kill another one and see who is afraid of who. Suddenly, Shan Haizong and the dark mysterious emperor once again quarreled, and no one would serve anyone. At this time, on top of the monument it flashed again. As in the case of engraving, write down the names of two people in the direction of the head. Chushanhai, magic sense, and behind it is an overview of the two. Kill the enemy with 2006. Brush it. In an instant, everyone was silent and looked at each other. It seemed that no one had thought that this would happen. It is Chu Shanhai and the magic sense Xian are all a mistake. Between the eyes, each snorted. I can't think of these two things so strong. Boss, we should do our best now. Otherwise, it won't let these two things get a chance. Jianma was angry and said with regret. And Long Fei nodded. No, even if we try our best, it's better than a sect. After all, they are not the best of the world, but they are also the leaders of their respective sections. Their strength is extraordinary. Long Fei said. But in the eyes, the figure of Long Fei emerged. If you are here, it must be another result. Long Fei whispered in his mouth and flashed a bitter smile. Jianma shook his head with helplessness, and he was extremely unwilling. He hated that the chance of this hand fell into the hands of others. At this time, with the top of the monument, the last paragraph appears. The entire Tongxian monument was also bursting between the crashes. Then fly a token directly. The above is engraved with a word free. Don't look at it, it is the undead qualification mentioned before. The magic sense took a look and I didn't dare to go. But Chu Shanhai, but under the shackles, directly reached out and took over. The magical mysterious bird said, the things that are greedy and fearful of death, without the determination to make a desperate attempt, dare to come to Tongxian Road? Stupid! Since you have the qualification to die, it is my artifact. The magic sense Xian said loudly. Looking at the condensate, look directly at the Tongxian monument that is breaking. Oh la la la. The stone is broken and there is no loss. Only a long knife left, standing on the ground. The magic sense of the body moved, a long knife caught in the hand, laughing. Ha ha ha, good pure magic. It's mine. On the road to the ferry, who else can stop me? The magic sense is arrogant and proud. Chapter 45:29. Chapter 45:29. One person does not die, and one person controls the magic knife. For a time, it became the most unique two people on the second battlefield. Originally, the two were extremely powerful. One person is a legend of Shanghai, and one person is the world of Magic Road. No matter which one, it is a world-class genius. Nowadays, getting this kind of power blessing is even more leaping, becoming the most promising person to pass through the road. Long Fei eyes flashed, his fists clenched, his face was melancholy, and he didn't know what he was thinking. However, Jianma is not reconciled. In his view, if Long Fei was shot before and killed the most, it must be theirs. But now, it's awkward to miss him. Reliably, master, even if they get this chance, it is the same in front of you, it is a slag. Jianma said. For Long Fei, he blindly trusts. It has reached a point where it is impossible to add. This is Long Fei's no shot, as long as the dragonfly shot, what mountain legend, what the magic of the town, all can be crushed. Dragons is not allowed, and no one has any explanation. But in fact, in the heart, it is worrying about Long Fei. He knows Long Fei's plan. Long Fei wants him to seek a limit in his identity on this Tongxian road. And he himself wants to hide in the dark and sway everything in some way. However, no one ever thought that this Tongxian road was totally different from what they thought. This is not a road to pass through. It is a reciting, being controlled by others, and wanting them to kill each other. Moreover, they still cannot refuse. Otherwise, it will remain on this road forever, and eventually become a bone. Moreover, what is most unexpected for Long Fei is that the interests are smoky. For everyone to take the opportunity on this road, it is crazy to kill. Therefore, now that we have no power to turn around, we can only continue step by step, according to the path set by others. However, what he is more worried about is the dragonfly. Because until the heart, he did not see the figure of Long Fei, together with the white deer and the night child, but also disappeared. It is like disappearing out of thin air. Master, what are you thinking? Jianma asked. It's nothing. Now that the monument has been cracked, I think the next battlefield is about to open, but I don't know what it will be. Long Fei said. There was a slight hesitation and worry in the eyes. Who cares? Big deal is hard work, and see who can survive. Jianma screamed and had no scruples. It seemed that he had already had an anger and wanted to kill the quartet. But at this time, above the void, a chaotic air mass suddenly fell between. For a moment, including Long Fei, everyone was shocked. But immediately they are all looking forward to it. Because they also know that after this breath, it is the other world. Rumble. Rumble. With the endless turbulent atmosphere above the void, the entire second battlefield began to collapse rapidly. Everyone's face changed dramatically. Run, this battlefield is about to collapse, go up. Yes, no matter what, advanced to say. No matter, go. Suddenly, countless voices appeared, and the mess was incomparable. But there is only one central idea, that is, the boundary that enters the void. Hey! Countless figures began to leap in madness, pouring into the air mass above the void. Long Fei and Jianma are no exception. Jianma's wings were shaken, and Long Fei was magnified on his back and flew over the void. Hey! In the moment when all the characters poured into the air mass, the entire second battlefield collapsed completely and became a void. Above the air mass, the figure of the people is rising, but for a moment they come to an open space. It is the first battlefield. But now the first battlefield has long been empty. Even the endless bones have been hidden by Long Fei. It can be said that the current first battlefield, nothing, is just a space that is empty. Everyone who has entered this place has already been automatically dispersed and returned to his camp. Long Fei, who sees everything in his eyes, is extremely disdainful. When I was killed in the second battlefield, everything was an enemy. Now it seems that the relatives are the same as the half-brothers and brothers, shameless. But soon, Long Fei blinked his eyes. This camp? Interesting. With a slight sigh, Long Fei's hands were firmly gripped on the throne of the white bone. The anger is soaring. For a moment, the cold light burst between the eyes. Yes, at this time, he has the vision of God, directly seeing below, several sects of power, slightly changing the orientation. Directly combine Long Fei and Jianma to be in the middle. Purpose, it goes without saying. What do you want to do? Jianma's face is tight, and the incarnation of the dragon and the dragon, the endless scales are chilling, and the anger is bursting. The breath of Long Fei is also a shock, and the eyes are cold. At this moment, how can I still see it? He has been targeted. It can be said that it is directly targeted by all the forces in this battlefield. What? Of course it is killing you. We have thousands of people on either side, and what about you? Only 2 people. It is necessary to clean up the useless people first. Suddenly, the person of the dark Xian Mazong said, with a bit of contempt in the eyes. Yes, my mountain Haizong, and you have sea enmity. Before you and my Zongshanhai legend have agreed, it is best to die on this road. I am also in the water side. This sun killed the sect of my ancestral ancestors, and I will die. This kind of cockroach does not know where to get the blood of my dragon family. I suspect that the ancestral dragon lost by my dragon family many years ago was stolen by him. I will marry him today. This kid has just killed a lot of my demon, and I must have killed him today. Everyone spoke up. Consistent. Everyone directly pointed the spearhead at Long Fei. It seems that in their eyes, dragons has not been tolerated, that is, the cancer of all people's minds. Dragons' eyes are certain heavy, but the eyes are firm. So, do you want to kill me? Long Fei said that the voice was light. There is no fear at all. As if the burden of the heart has been put down, at this moment is a battle that wants to be hearty. Kill you? You also have so many people with us? If you know each other, it is best now, from the abolition of the meridians you can still leave a whole body. Yes, don't look at what you are, and dare to be arrogant now. A sneer sneaked down. Everyone is full of disdain. They are targeting dragons because of fear. So in the Invisible, directly reach an agreement. It is necessary to kill, first. Moreover, at the moment, under the influence of the five forces, they absolutely do not believe that Long Fei can still survive. Yes, Long Fei is a faint smile, and both hands move. You join hands but just because you are afraid. Since you are afraid? Then, what are you afraid of? Come on, fight and fight. Chapter 45-30. Chapter 45-30 Long Fei said frankly. There is only one belief in his heart, and that is not to be embarrassed. Long Fei will give you the creation of heaven, even if it can't be like a dragon. Yes, since this identity should be applied. He can't be jealous. Even if it is to die, it is absolutely necessary to stand the hero. It's stubborn, if that's the case, then send you to hell. It's just a shame. Look at how you die today. A voice, a few disciples screamed. However, no one dares to go on. When you fight, what is so much nonsense? It seems that you really have the ability to shoot. Come on, Laozi is here, see which one is looking for death, and dare to step closer. Jian Mao, the body shocked, directly incarnate the body, put Long Fei on his back, huge eyes, staring at the people in front of him. Very crazy. It is disdain. The people in front of the forces are directly silent at this time. Everything is in the air, and there is no ridicule and disdain. Rubbish! Jianma screamed and walked forward step by step. At this moment, he also knows in his heart if there is a fight with several people. With them, there is absolutely no chance of winning. But at this time, Jianma has not yet gone out. The five figures appeared directly out of thin air. Chu Shanhai, Magic Sense Xian, Zhan Tai Ling Xiu, Blood Demon King, Tianlong Wang. The five forces have the strongest fighting force and directly block the way. Want to go? It is impossible today. Chu Shanhai, this person will be handed over to you, this animal who does not know what kind of variant, let us solve it. The magical mystery of the dark mysterious emperor first opened. In his view, the threat of building a horse is much greater than that of Long Fei. After all, until now, the number of Long Fei shots has been numerous, and has not shown much. Just building a horse is too violent. If you don't die, even if you don't threaten them, you will lose the weight of their people. It is precisely because of this that several people will come together. In the distance, Chu Shanhai's face is full of murder. Boy, I have already said that Tongxian Road is your death. Before there will be a heavy ferry to protect you now? With your mountain and sea law, you want to fight in front of me? I didn't do it before, just because I want to save my strength. And now, there is no possibility of survival. Chu Shanhai said, his expression was fixed. Unparalleled confidence. I am full of 4 characters on my face. Dragons patted the horse at this time. You have to be careful. Dragons lightly said, and then the body jumped and went straight to the void, facing the Chushan Sea. In the same way, I will return it to you now. I said that on the road to Tongxian, I want your life. Long Fei said. Above the hands, the Shanhai law begins to surge. The Judaishan Haidao law is extremely powerful and is naturally in the hands of Long Fei. Countless ways have vacated in the control of Long Fei. Dragon's hands fell. Heavy and heavy. Boom. Boom. The 9 ways of law directly descended from the sky, surrounded by the body of Long Fei, and held the body of Long Fei. At this moment, the Dark Emperor and the people on the water side all change. The power of the Tao law is not what they are now able to bear. Puff puff. One by one, the figure fell directly to the ground, struggling with pain. Some of them are slightly weaker. They have already turned red and have difficulty breathing. It seems that under the pressure of this law, they are about to collapse. Ha ha ha, at this level, dare you? My boss has not yet shot, you are going to die to live, but dare to say that I left my boss? I really don't want to make a face. You are the one who has seen the most unpredictable garbage in my heart. Jianma madly laughed and did not care about his safety. Watching Long Fei show his talents, there is a glimmer of light in his eyes. Hey, take care of yourself first. At this time, the magic sense Xuanda shouted. The magic knife in the hand swayed, a knife fell. Boom. Endless killings are empty, and they are forced to build horses. Roar. Jianma roared and gave the knife to the moment directly with the double angle of the head. Hey! However, what surprised the construction of the horse was that his own double horns were broken directly from the middle under the knife of the other side, splitting into 2. Roar. Once again, the body of Jianma suddenly receded, and the scales on the wings were dazzling, and the coldness was scattered. This is impossible. My blood is back to the ancestors. It is impossible for the body to be a true artifact. You is unbelievable and has a panic. Ha ha ha, it seems to be high to see you. On the water side there are also demon dragons, let's go back. It is enough to kill this beast, one in the town. Ha ha ha, the supreme artifact of Tongxian Road is Niobi, a knife in hand. Who is fighting? Give me death. The magic sense was a big smile, and the long knife in his hand flashed again and fell heavily. Rumble. This time, it is even more violent. As everything is annihilated, the power of violentness falls directly on the horse. Hey! On the body of Jianma, it was instantly cut through a hole, and the scales were directly smashed, flesh and blooded, and miserable. Ha, you are also doing this. The blood is back to the ancestors, I will solve you before the master of Chushan Si solves your master. Let you know what is the real power of the world. The magic sense Xianzhang said that the long knife in his hand is at this moment, and it becomes even more arrogant and mad. At this time, Dragon is preparing to shoot, but it feels that the horse is in danger and his face changes. Just to fight against the power of Chushanhai, suddenly change direction, attacking magical mystery. Bang! Both palms blasted. The left palm is killing the town, and the right hand is destined to death. The power of the Judaishan Haidao law suddenly surged out. Hey! The power of the 2 palms directly appears in front of the Jianma, and the magical sense of the sword is given to the students. At this time, the Chushan Si moved, step by step, and the shadow behind the mountains and seas suddenly appeared. Like carrying the mountains and seas, it is the power of the world. When I fight, I dare to save people. Today, this legend teaches you to be a man, let you know that arrogance is not a good end. Chushan Haizui Corner is a cold smile. At the moment, Long Fei was deadlocked with the magical sense, and a fist ignited the mountains and seas. For a time, everyone in the field was relieved, feeling that Chushanhai was under the palm of his hand. Whether it was Long Fei or Jianma, it would be a scream. However, no one noticed. Above the void, a figure slowly appeared. In the moment when the punch of Chu Shanhai is about to fall, a knives of knives will burst out. Rumble. A knife fell, whether it was a punch of Chu Shanhai or a knife of the magic sense, it was directly overturned. brush it. For a moment, everyone was stunned and looked at the void. Don't be too crazy, it's useless. Did you dare to move me? Have you ever asked, I agree not to agree? Long Fei strolled through the void, his eyes cold, and said coldly. Chapter 45:31. Chapter 45:31. Above the first battlefield, no one is surprised. How arrogant is it that the swordsmen retreat from the two camps. Chu Shanhai and the magic sense Xian also exposed the shock, watching Long Fei, slowly coming in the void, his eyes horrified. It is not just the power that Long Fei has shown. More importantly, Long Fei actually appeared under the circumstances that they did not perceive. This shows what, indicating that Long Fei has already been in this first battlefield. This result makes them more fearful than the power of Long Fei. Impossible! Who are you? Why is it here? When did you come? Asked the magical anger. The pupils in the eyes are all focused together, and the endless magic is aerodynamic. Obviously, the emergence of Long Fei has made him feel a strong sense of crisis. It's not just him, it's Chu Shanhai, but it's also incredible. Because for Long Fei, he has no sense at all. Who are you? The Chu Shanxi asked coldly, and the scorpion was full of caution. At this time, among the Shan Haizong, a voice exclaimed, It is the foreign disciple. It is the disciple who took the madman from the outer door. No, how is this possible? At the beginning, he was just a garbage of the realm of the gods. How could it become so powerful? This is absolutely impossible. Among the mountains and seas, some people recognized Long Fei. However, it is when Long Fei is a foreign disciple of Shan Haizong. As soon as this statement came out, Chu Shanhai was even more shocked. His eyes continued to sway on Long Fei and Long Fei. It seems to be guessing what? No guess. Long Fei stepped forward and smiled at himself in the world. Dragon's heart feels a bit, his eyes are condensed, his body is shaking. Hey! In an instant, Dragon's was directly transformed, and it also changed back to its own state of Tsing Yi. And Long Fei, the same is true. The power of creation is shocked, and the bones of the whole body are constantly creeping. Immediately, the entire face was restored. Suddenly, the Chu Shanxi eye suddenly slammed between them. Look at the transition between Long Fei and Long Fei. With a moving look, the body became more and more sullen. It turns out. Is this a mess? I still think that there are more sophisticated means. Do you have the ability to come out? Chu Shanhai said. The words ridicule the dragonfly. It seems that if Long Fei does not come out, then Long Fei is dead. Whether the means are not clever, not the same, turn a group of fools to the deceitful group? However, Laozi is only coming out now, you should be thankful. Otherwise, you. What are you doing? Have a chance to come here. Oh. Too young. Long Fei said contemptuously. After I finished speaking, my heart was very refreshing. Finally realized the victory of the hook, the violent swearing, ignoring the domineering of the heavens and the earth. And with the sound of Long Fei falling, the faces of Chu Shanhai and others were suddenly embarrassing. Between the green and red interlaced, anger breathed. The Dragon King is stepping out. What do you think of, and dare to be so arrogant? Over the top, it will be dead. Tianlong Wang Xing said. Death you paralyzed. Don't look at what you are, dare to speak in front of Laozi's master? In front of the owner, you are a grandson. No, you can't even count on your grandson. At most, it's a little trick. Long Fei has not opened yet, and the horse will be directly martyrdom. Nowadays, I saw the violentness of Long Fei, and the small universe in the heart of Jianma broke out. I finally understood why I had to look at my own master before, and the way I took it was too subtle. Feelings, everything is the layout of Long Fei. Today, Long Fei appearing in an invincible posture, violent everything. Let the heart of Jianma feel very passionate. Blood burning. as if wishing to take the initiative to provoke the battle. See the dragon fly across the enemy, suppress everything. Long Fei frowned slightly, and looked at the Dragon King with a look of distress. He couldn't help but say, "Don't insult the genes of Laozi. Laozi definitely has no such disgusting descendants." Long Fei said. For a moment, except for the dragons, everyone was stunned and turned red, laughing and not laughing. "Kid, you are looking for death. Don't think that you can smash two people in front of the king with a knife?" Tianlong Wang said with anger. "And Long Fei is a sneer. You think too much, and Lao Tzu never looks at people. Really responsible, this battlefield. Laozi is the master. I let you live, you can live. I let you die, you can't live without one." Long Fei headed and said with his hands, "Jokes, kid, who are you? The owner of Tongxian Road? Also let us live and die. Don't look at whether you have this qualification. People are more self-aware, and if they want to let them die, they will make them crazy." Suddenly, the Blood Demon King, the Magic Sense Xian and Zhan Tai Ling Xiu said one after another. The words are full of disdain and disdain. "General, still killing. The more dragons fly, the more powerful they are." Even Long Fei looked at Long Fei with a strange look, but immediately it was relieved. It seems that as long as Long Fei said it, it will be able to do it. But Jianma is quietly passing to Long Fei. "Master, don't be so violent, we can kill them one by one. We only have 3 people, they." Jianma said, "There are some concerns. After all, the 5 parties have a total of 30,000. 3 pairs of 30,000. Jianma is somewhat worried. But Long Fei did not take it for granted. "You don't have to be so troublesome, I want to destroy them, it's easy. But now, there is an account to calculate with them," Long Fei said. After that, my eyes turned and looked at Tianlong Wang. "I asked you, why don't you see me?" Long Fei said. "Kid, why are you afraid of being mad, yelling at you? You count as a Dragon King yells, but only half said." All the anger in the pupil disappeared directly, and was directly shrouded in boundless fear. "Who are you?" Tianlong Wang stunned and his footsteps continually exploded. Behind him, nearly Wanlong, at the same time uncontrolled direct conversion to the dragon body, facing the dragon fly, directly fell to the ground, kneeling on the ground. Already humbled into the dust. Only the Dragon King is still struggling. But Long Fei, still forced to ask the past. "I am asking you, see me, why not?" Long Fei aggravated the tone, and the body of the ancient dragon was automatically opened. Under the influence of the power of creation, it was undoubtedly obvious. At this moment, he is the dragon ancestors. It's not impossible, you are clearly a person, how can there be a breath of dragon ancestors? I don't believe it. If the Dragon King is crazy, try his best, turn into a dragon, roar and fly toward the dragon, as if to swallow the dragon fly. However, Long Fei, but it did not move until the dragon body of Tianlong Wang forced himself to a foot, and Long Fei's eyes jerked openly. "Give me a sigh." Chapter 45-32. Chapter 45-32. A heavy bang directly diffused the whole world. The posture of Tianlong Wang's offense also came to an abrupt end. A loud noise. The huge body of the Dragon King fell directly to the ground. Not only that, but the whole dragon body began to tighten at a speed that is visible to the naked eye. "Don't be an ancestor. I was wrong, spare me, spare me. Don't deprive me of my blood, don't deprive me of my strength." The Tianlong King collapsed on the ground, and the dragon body of hundreds of feet was only a few moments, and it was reduced to a few dozen feet. The repair was also seriously shrunk. This scene made everyone in the field stunned by the chin. "I can't believe what I saw. The Dragon King of the world can't be defeated." In one sentence, the most basic force of direct refining is lost, and the direct blood of the dragons is deprived. "This is a fake or you will slap me." Snapped. "This is really true, it is true, who is he? Longzhu?" Is he the ancestor of the dragon? How is this possible? For a time, countless arguments appeared. All of them are shocking to all that happened in front of us. It is the magic sense Xian and Chu Shanhai and so on, but also quietly retreat. The four people are like a heart and soul, and the tacit understanding stands together. The afterglow of Long Fei's eyes saw everything in his eyes, but he didn't say much, just the corner of his mouth, but it was a sneer. The next moment, Long Fei looked back and continued to look at the Dragon King. Reign you? I asked you just now, when you see why I am not jealous, are you not very arrogant? Don't you still want to kill Laozi? Isn't it a group that wants to kill Laozi? I will ask you, who will give you this courage? Long Fei has a word. Every time I say a word, the body of the dragon ancestors will become more and more intense. Under the pressure of this breath, the Dragon King is constantly being pulled away from power. 30 feet, 20 feet. 3 feet, 2 feet. This is the time of several breaths, and the Dragon King directly turns into a loach. The dragon's dragon veins on the body also dissipated. Not returning to me. That is my blood, my strength. Longzhu adults, return the power to me. I can shoot for you and kill them a few. Adult, please, Tianlong Wang constantly pleads. Even if he lost all his strength, he was still unwilling to squat on the ground and climbed to Long Fei a little. But Long Fei is simply not moving. There is no change in expression on the face. Dragon family? If it is really a dragon, Long Fei will naturally take care of it. However, if you dare to disobey yourself, you will never bear it. What's more, they are just the power left by Long Ba Tian in the world and left in this world. In general, it is just that Lombard is idle and boring. Although it belongs to the dragon family, Long Fei does not have much sense of recognition. In addition, these people of the dragons dare to insult the horse and insult the Long Fei. Only this point there is no possibility of surviving. Beg for mercy? Before you swayed and sneered at Laozi, have you ever thought about it now? Get out of the mix, always have to pay back. I told him before, don't be too arrogant, useless. Give me death. Long Fei thought of a move and screamed. Immediately, the strength of the body of the ancient dragon burst out. Puff! In an instant, only the Dragon King, which is less than a foot in size, suddenly collapsed between his body. Turn into a fog. Hey, congratulations to the player. Dragonfly kills the Dragon King and gains 15 billion experience. Hey, congratulations to the player for getting a pass. A system beep appears. However, what is different from Long Fei's thinking is that it is only like the Dragon King, which only brought him 15 billion years of experience. Nima, it seems that the system has begun to limit again. This Dragon King does not know how much stronger than the original Shiji Wang, but only gives such experience. Long Fei said secretly in his heart. However, there is nothing to help. After all, this is the rules of the game. The stronger he is, the more times he explodes and the less experience he gives. Long Fei pressed down the depression in his heart and looked at another thing. Passing the ferry. System View Properties. Long Fei said. Hey, this item is not a mission item and cannot be viewed. A dragon flies. For the first time, something that the system can't see appears. I am Nima, is this thing still a big deal? Can't even view the system? Long Fei took the county magistrate in his hand and silenced it again. The next moment, this sensation makes the familiar atmosphere of the past disappear. Okay? It's him? Dragons have a relationship with him? Just for a moment, Long Fei has already confirmed the origin of this so-called Tongxian order. Even if the system is not viewed, Long Fei believes that his perception will never go wrong. This immortal command is all that will have appeared before. In other words, the dragon. It is enough to be involved with that person. In the thought of this, Long Fei's heart is full of anger. Come here. Long Fei shouted and called for a dragon to come. Greater people, Longzhu adults, I am surrendering you. Don't kill me. The dragon directly squats in front of Long Fei, facing the will of Long Fei, and directly lowers himself to the extreme. I ask you, where does this token come from? Long Fei asked. Adult. This token is now exchanged between the ancestors of the Longzhu and a mysterious person. It is also because of this that we can enter this path of Tongxian. The dragon trembled and said, "What is your mission?" Long Fei asked. Our task is to clean the people who enter Tongxian Road. The dragon said that he did not dare to hide anything. And Long Fei, at this moment the whole body is cold. When did the dragons become the running dogs of others? Sure enough, you are a dragon. The dragons of the ancient world were abused. I can't think of this world too. Shouldn't Lao Tzu say that all of your descendants are scorpions? Long Fei thought to sink and said to the dragon scale in the system space. He didn't know if Long Baishan could hear it. But this sentence is deliberate. However, the dragon scale did not have any reaction, as if the dragon had completely disappeared since the last time it appeared in the sea. Upon seeing it, Long Fei didn't think much. After the return of the gods, he looked at the 12,000 dragons in front of him and took a step forward and said, "The dragons are proud and unparalleled. The sky is standing. Don't die. And you, completely tarnish the title of the dragon. Today, in the name of my dragon flying, take the blood of your dragons, do your best," Long Fei said coldly. In a word, the power of Wan Gulong suddenly broke out, and all the dragons, at this moment, directly into the state of self-destruction, one by one, directly deprived of blood, and finally crushed into a group of blood fog, annihilating the void. Chapter 45-33. Chapter 45-33. Quietly silent. Long Fei shot and opened the game in seconds. In a few words, talking and laughing, the world is generally in the world, and the dragons are tens of thousands without any effort. At this moment, among the eyes of all people, there is only the word fear, nothing else. Too strong. In their eyes, the tyrannical dragons, that is, any of their sex, can feel the supreme pressure. But now, in the hands of Long Fei, it is gone. Moreover, there was no shot from beginning to end. Directly subverted their three views. After the dragon flew, Jianma had already violently rushed, watching Long Fei say a word, and his heart was excited. "Ha ha ha, master, it's just too strong. The past and the present, no one has ever been able to do it, and the tens of thousands of dragons have been destroyed. A group of hybrids, who do not know the honor of the master, dare to arrogate in front of the master, and deserve to be destroyed," Jianma said excitedly. The Long Fei on the side is also looking forward to standing next to Long Fei. From the appearance of Long Fei, he knew that all the big plans have been set. In his opinion, there is no such thing as Long Fei. And Long Fei, at this time, is still very indifferent. There is no slight emotional change on his face. Destroy the dragon, although he was hesitant in his heart. After all, in the end, he is the dragon. However, the dragon in front of him has already touched his reverse scale, only death. And with the 12,000 dragons being destroyed, the Dragonfly system interface, the number of killing missions for these 90,000 people, began to change, becoming 55,000. Hey, congratulations to the player, Long Fei killing 12,000 people of the dragon and gaining experience, 60 billion. The system sound reappears. Long Fei's heart was moved and he was shocked. He now has only 30 billion yuan of experience left in the upgrade. This time, the dragons have been eliminated and the experience has been upgraded enough. But now Long Fei wants to suppress. Because the people in front of you are not weak. But he has already controlled the entire first battlefield. Everything is right and wrong. As for the upgrade of this multi-life anti-day operation, it was wasted at this time, it is really not doing. One thought about this, Long Fei said directly. System, can you suppress the upgrade? Hey, the host can choose to suppress the upgrade, and the experience that broke out will automatically be converted into experience Dan. Hey, the current experience of 60 billion can be turned into 2 experience Dan. Please host choice, is it converted? The system sounds down. Conversion. Longfei Dasong breathed a sigh of relief. The appearance of the dark road experience Dan is also really against the sky. Hey, 6 billion experience turns into 2 experience Dan. Hey, the player has 56 remaining experience, and the current repair can be engulfed by 20 per day. The system prompts you. Upon hearing this prompt, Longfei's heart was relieved. However, during the transition, Longfei looked around and looked at the opposite 4. Well, Chu Shanhai, now it's yours. Longfei speaks a turn and goes straight to Chushanhai. Chushanhai's face changed. Dragon is right, since you have a relationship with the dragons, you should know that my mountain Haizong and the dragons are also very deep. And you entered this Tongxian road in the name of my mountain Haizong. It should be reasonable, we should be consistent with the outside world. With you and me, I am on the road. Who is the enemy? Chu Shanhai said quickly. There is fear in the eyes. It seems that after seeing the dragon fly to kill the dragon, there is no courage to fight in the heart. Yes, Longfei, we are all from Shanhaizong. Now we should cooperate well, not kill each other. Yes, the opportunity on Tongxian Road is heavy. There is a legend between you and me. This is the road to the ferry, and it is not the 2 of you. At this time, the disciple of Shan Haizong also said, the face is full of desire. I hope that Longfei can agree. Why, I want to take Laozi as a hitter? You also match? Longfei smiled coldly. Yes, a group of things that don't know how to be shameful. Didn't you still want to join forces to destroy us? How? Now my master is coming, one by one? Jianma taunts. Dragon, I don't fight with you, I am not afraid of you, but for the sake of the overall situation. In addition, there is no grudge between you and me. Originally agreed with me, but this outside disciple behind you. A foreigner disciple in the district, even if he controls the Shanghai law, can't compare with my strength. You are a smart person, you should know how to choose, and you will not fall out with me because of a small foreign disciple. Chushanhai said again. His eyes are constantly flashing. However, I want to use a few words to send Longfei. Nothing is possible. So what? I want to kill you. Is it that you are uncomfortable? Do you have any opinion? Reassured, I will not bully you. Today, I want to play for you. One can't run. When the murderous action, Longfei looked like a knife, looking at Chushanhai, Magic Sense Xian and others, cold and cold. It's too arrogant, boy, I have never seen such arrogance. Yes, it's just madness. Several people, since this kid is so dead, then we will fulfill him, I will not believe we can't beat him. Suddenly, the Magic Sense Xian and the Blood Demon King violently, and the breath suddenly rose between them. Chu Shanhai and Zhan Tai Ling Xiu look at each other and focus on the head. Brush and brush. Suddenly, the 4 figures were directly separated into 4 parties, and the power surged to surround the dragon. Boss, I will help you. When Jianma jumped, he rushed up. And I. Dragons will not retreat at this time, and the law of Shanghai is working. However, their figure has not been close to Longfei, and it was directly stopped by Longfei. No, I said that if I want to hit them 4 today, I won't let you do it. Longfei said faintly. A face is positive. Jianma opened his mouth and wanted to say anything more, but he was stopped by Longfei. Do you still believe in your own master? Longfei said. After that, directly pull the Jianma back to the side and hand over the battlefield to Longfei. Also at this time, a few people finally started. The body of the Blood Demon King is vertical, and the blood of the body is smothered. The blood of the sky rises from the endless world. Sulfuric space. Melt. The Blood Demon King shouted. As the blood color spread, Long Fei's figure suddenly disappeared in the battlefield and was tolerated by the blood. Not only him, Chu Shanhai and other people are also wrapped in white blood. Directly shield everyone's sight. Under the blood demon king is incomparably mad. Ha ha ha, feel the fear of death. Even if you are in the realm of realism, under this power, you have to take off your skin without dying. The blood demon king laughed. In this space, your strength will be limited, and I will wait, the damage will double, and you will die. You do it together, kill him, ask him to die. Chapter 45-34. Chapter 45-34. The blood is raging and the killing is full. 4 people at this moment, the roots of the killings. Shanghai town. Destroy a knife. One side of the sword is breaking the world. The 3 men shot tightly. Under the bloodless curtain of the blood demon king, the power is even further. Dead. I don't know what is high and thick, if you are a single war, maybe we will all be guilty. But you are too arrogant, you have to fight one of us for, today you are not jealous of you we face. You can't live without it. Everything is over, he will die. Several people said while they shot. The hatred in the eyes is surging. And Long Fei at this time is not shocked in the eyes. Even if it is standing under this blood, there is no fluctuation. Restrict my strength? Moron! I'm afraid you don't know, this battlefield, Laozi is the master. Long Fei gently shook his head. Between walking, the power of creation is surging up and down the whole body, and the power of this blood curtain is not taken for granted. At this time, the power of several people finally fell. However, the picture as everyone thinks does not appear. Just as the moment of these powers fell on Long Fei, the whole blood curtain burst. Then, a chain of snow-like white bones descended from the sky, directly forming a white bone wall, and the dragon fly to protect it. Hey! The chain collapsed, break into a piece. However, the power of several people also dissipated. And Long Fei, if nothing happens, walk ahead. Oh la la la. The chain is retracted, as if it had not appeared, it disappeared directly above the void. Is this your strength? Dish has been committed to Laozi's snoring. Long Fei said softly. Stretching out and grabbing, a white mang flashes and falls from above the void. In the hands of Long Fei, there is a bone sword directly. The crystal is as jade, but it is fierce. A cold road ran over the sword. At this moment, several people changed instantly. Especially the blood demon king. How can you not believe it? His blood curtain was instantly annihilated. In particular, he never saw Long Fei shot. Just for a moment, the endless white bone chain runs through the void and breaks the blood. The law of his blood demon is to control invincibility. Like the same field, you can increase your strength infinitely. As long as others are enveloped in the blood screen, you can kill each other. However, now his power is like a joke in front of Long Fei, and it is instantly destroyed. And he is personally, but he is being countered, directly bombarded by this blood curtain, and falls heavily on the void. Impossible. The blood curtain of the king is the law of the blood of the endless Holy Spirit, able to devour the spiritual power of man. How can you break it? The blood demon king is angry. Endured the pain of the body, looking at Long Fei with a look of hatred. You dare to play in the field in front of Laozi. Didn't Laozi just say that, here, I am the master? Long Fei spoke. Then look around. Since all of you have already shot, then it is also my turn. A sword smashed out, and the dragon flew one step at a time, pushing the blood demon king. Do not. The blood demon king roared and struggled. But it didn't help at all. He himself has been seriously injured, and now he can hide under the dragon sword? Impossible. After all, the power of the skull sword is too great. The killing of life with countless powerful people is integrated into it. After the ages, it has been cultivated by Baigu Tianjun. Dedicated to all the evil spirits of the demon. 50% of the damage bonus. Simply let the blood demon king, avoiding inevitable. Hey! Boom! A sword directly penetrates the body of the Blood Demon King. You and I are not willing. The Blood Demon King drained blood, and the whole body was up and down, and the demon power was disordered. Under this sword, most of them were directly annihilated. It can be said that this sword has already smashed the Blood Demon King. Today, it is just the end of power. Struggling. I am not willing? How can you be unwilling? When you set foot on Tongxian Road, this is already doomed. Long Fei said indifferently. No, you can't kill me. If you kill me, that one will definitely kill you. I am doing things for the grown-up. If you dare to kill me, you will die without a place to die. This Tongxian Road is where the adults let us in. If you dare to kill me, you will die. The Blood Demon King said crazy. And Long Fei also at this moment fell silent. A shock in my heart. For the adults mentioned in the Blood Demon King, Long Fei has already guessed who it is. Unsurprisingly, like the Dragon King, he was commanded by the Master of the Will behind the scene of Tongxian Road and entered Tongxian Road. Abolished such a large means, the dragons and the Yaozu are all involved, to clean up the people who entered the world of Tongxian? With this time, it's automatic and the whole world can crash several times. What are you trying to figure out? Long Fei thought of it. My eyes are small. And this scene fell in the eyes of the Blood Demon King, but thought that Long Fei was afraid. Immediately laughed. How? I am afraid. Since I am afraid, I will go now. Then break your arm, maybe I will plead with the adults and give you a dog's life. Blood Demon King said. Long Fei has never heard of it. The mind is gradually turning. Tang Nima, you don't know what I want. But Laozi's road is to overturn this Tongxian Road. Whoever blocks the road, who will do it? The mind will definitely be. Long Fei will look at the Blood Demon King. Why are you afraid of brain damage? Are you afraid? There is no such word in Laozi's dictionary. Don't talk about the adults in your mouth. Even if you are the master of Tongxian Road, Lao Tzu is the same. Kill it. Dead. In a word, Long Fei's sword in his hand turned, and the white bone sword directly cut the body of the Blood Demon King and completely obliterated it. The Blood Demon King did not understand. Why did Long Fei say killing and killing? At this moment, with the death of the Blood Demon King, the remaining few people did not dare to stay. Directly push away. Kill, you are all on. Dragon has 3 of us to contain, you go to kill the 2 people. Yes, as long as the dragon is distracted, we have hope. The 3 people in Chushanhai said one after another. At this moment they are really scared. Especially in Chushanhai, the eyes are full of hate. Because at the beginning of the Mountain Haizong, but also want to compete with Long Fei, but also boasted Haikao, said Long Fei is a jumping clown. But now, Long Fei kills 2 people, and it is hard to force them to shoot. He only knew that from the beginning to the end, he was in the eyes of Long Fei, but it was a joke. Therefore, it is only possible to contain Long Fei by 2 other people. At this time, Long Fei's eyes were also turned around. Looking at the 3 people, the corner of the mouth was picked. Run off. I have said that I have been the master of this world. On my home court, do you still want to run? There is no such thing. Endless bones out. Chapter 45-35. Chapter 45-35 Boom. With one order, the entire first battlefield roaring again. Rumble. In an instant, the heavens and the earth trembled and the space trembled. It seems that there are countless creatures stepping on. What happened? Don't this space be destroyed? What happened? What are you going to do? This momentary change, the clouds are sweeping, everyone's hearts are full of endless haze, shocked with panic, eyes constantly looking around. At this time, the 3 people of Chushanhai, who are plundering in the distance, are returning again. A look pale. No, this is impossible. The endless white bones, the bones are like the sea, how do you do it? Dragon, don't you really want to kill? One person is full of infinite shock. And as several people fell, the endless bones finally came. Rumble. Rumble. Just a few breaths, the endless white bone directly covered the dome. The sky is vast and endless. Overwhelming, all are the shadow of the bones. Even, there are countless bones cohesive, jumping up and down, it is more than the hearts of everyone, terrible. God, so many bones, is he a devil? He wants to leave us all. No, I don't want to die. Brother, kill him. He is just a person, all three of you are supreme, and there is a reward for this fairy road, you don't have to be afraid of him. Yes, yes, I feel the mysterious demon, you have also got the artifact, this is the reward of Tongxian Road, and soon he is gone. Sister, are you not bringing the mysterious holy water in my mountain gate? Use it, life is important. Suddenly, everyone else said, and began to pray for the strongest sect, eager for them to shoot. Now they are still not clear. All of this is due to the emergence of Longfei. Only after the dragon fly, everything can be restored. Yes, their words, listening to the ears of Chu Shanhai and others, is another taste. Suddenly, the three eyes gathered. Chu Shanxi cold looked to Longfei. Dragonfly, is it really necessary to kill the net? You have heard it, and we are in control of the soldiers. If you really live and die, you can't get any benefit. Chu Shanhai said quietly. A look of gloom. At the moment, for Longfei, he is completely weak. Too strong. Strong enough not at all. Being proud of him, he can only whisper. As for the immortal token, he didn't want to use it at all. What he wants is the opportunity to take advantage of the opportunity on Tongxian Road. Only then will he have the opportunity to wash the humiliation of today. As for the magic sense, this time is also the dignity of a face. Very heavy. The magic in the eyes is focused into a little light, all over the pupil, and the whole eye has become a dark, magical surging. Longfei, really, we don't have to. Continue to do it, it is not good for anyone. Our purpose is to take the opportunity on Tongxian Road. And, above this battlefield, that will has not yet been said, how can we enter the next battlefield? It's better for us to wait for the other party to say it, than watch the war and not fight. How? Said the magic sense. The voice is hoarse, as the same demon is in the air. It can be seen that at this time there is much humiliation in the heart. On the other hand, Zhan Tai Lingxiu is also smiling, making a self-confident expression. Longfei brother, in fact, the younger sister thinks so. We don't have to fight at all. Zhan Tai Lingxiu said that the dagger was in a pose, intentionally or unintentionally, and also sent a yellow wave to Longfei. Oh, why? Now I feel that there is no need to fight between life and death? I don't care about it. I have killed 9 of the top 10 legends of Shanhaizong. I have also won 9 of the top 10 towns of the Dark Emperor. And you are on the water side, the gimmick of your lord, and I am slamming and dying. There are these deep hatreds, can you let go? Longfei's face was sardonic and he spoke in a word. In an instant I saw 3 people's emotions on their faces. Especially the magical mystery, when I heard that Longfei said that I had smashed 9 magical roads, the eyes were like burning, and the dark pupils flashed magic light. Even the long knife in his hand began to cast a layer of magic. Obviously, it has already moved. Longfei's eyes are also a move, and the sorcerer's sword shines in his hand. However, what makes Longfei unexpected is that at this moment, the anger of the magical mysterious body disappears instantly and is forced to suppress. I rely on, is this smashed? It's too boring. Longfei heart in the belly. Well, it is also the existence of the earthquake on the mainland. I didn't even think so. Originally, I thought that some words would be irritating, and the 3 would be angry, and then I will shoot again and get twice the result with half the effort. After all, a person will be irrational under the support of anger. It's easier to kill them when they are. Unexpectedly, A few people are too indifferent, and the stimulation of Long Fei is not at all in mind. Yes, even if this is the case, Long Fei will never let them go. Or, when they entered this first battlefield, the result, Long Fei has already judged his fate. In the face of the absolute strong, the dead, after all, is only the whetstone on the road. The dragon brother does not have to care. There are so few things in the world, that is, there are many people. When they die, there will naturally be people who will fill their positions. I will not anger my brother because of their death. Chu Shanhai said. Extrusion to a smile that is more ugly than crying. Yeah, the weak meat is strong, the strong is the respect. This is the world, the brothers are repaired to heaven, let alone kill them, even if they destroy the entire mainland, they are also dead. Zhan Tai Lingxiu said. When I heard the words of two people, Long Fei smiled. Ha ha ha, good, a strong person is respected, the weak meat is strong. A good person who kills the whole continent is also the place where they die. Since you all said this, don't kill you, are you too sorry for me? Long Fei laughed and suddenly turned around. The next moment, the demon sword was in the hand and slammed down towards the Chushan Sea. Hey! A sword attacked, the body of Chu Shanhai was directly smashed by a dragon and a sword, and the entire chest was smashed, and a sword was shocking. You, dragon, you are mean. The Chushan Sea is extremely angry. I did not expect it at all, Long Fei said that he shot. Dragon, don't you think that we are justified? Why do you want to shoot? Zhan Tai Lingxiu stunned and said. And Long Fei, but he played with the bone sword in his hand, did not take it for granted. Yes, it's because you said it makes sense, I want to kill you. Now I am stronger than you, and I am still a life and death enemy. What reason can I let you go? As for what is said, the opportunity on Tongxian Road. Long Fei voice turned, his eyes locked in the void, directly said, Sorry, I am not rare. Chapter 45-36. Chapter 45-36 For Tongxian Road, Long Fei has long been known. Where is the chance? It's a conspiracy. Still want a chance? Non-existent. Long Fei, so to speak, today is not good enough? Don't you be afraid of your brother and this person who pretends to be you? While you are strong, but the three of us, the two together, is enough to contain you. When the other person carries the 2,000 people, it is easy to kill them. Do you really ignore their lives and deaths? Chu Shanhai said. And then the voice fell, the magic sense Xian and Zhan Tai Lingxiu also stepped forward, the three stood together. Obviously, it has already been seen, and Long Fei has never let go of their plans. Especially Zhan Tai Lingxiu, the charming appearance on his face disappeared directly. Instead, only endless cold. And Long Fei, in the face of all this, is not a slight change. A few people are ignorant people, and everything they say is for themselves. As for what they said about the construction of horses and Long Fei would not care. Not to mention whether they have this ability. It is simpler than people, and it is a joke in front of Long Fei. The entire first battlefield was under his control. The endless white bones were his soldiers, and they did not destroy the bones. Whether it is more than quantity or higher-end combat power, the disparity between the two sides is very high. One thought about this, Long Fei said directly. What do you mean, you have more people, are you arrogant? I want to rely on human tactics to let Laozi yield? Long Fei sounds cold and indifferent. You said it is good. Although they are not high, they are all elite. There are also people who have been repaired to the lowest, and so many people are enough to kill this animal. If you take care of them, then you will stop now. Wait until we get the final instructions, Chu Shanhai said. As soon as this statement is made, the magic sense Xian also directly agrees. Yes, as long as Chu Shanhai can restrain your tea time, this seat has confidence and kills this person. Do you dare to gamble? Chu Shanhai hated and said. Full of threats. And Long Fei, but constantly shaking his head. Too naive. Is there a word that I have heard obediently? There is more waste, and it is just a bunch of waste. Do you think that with them, can you really pose a threat to the construction of horses? Non-existent. Long Fei did not disguise the sarcasm, and then the voice was another turn. And do you really think that you have a lot of people? Long Fei asked one sentence, and then, in the exquisiteness of several disciples, his hands were lifted. There will be no bones and hundreds of millions of soldiers. Take them all to me. Refers to the day of the order, the heroic shock. And as the dragon's voice fell, above the dome, the endless white bone began to merge quickly. Just a time of breathing, countless cockroaches come together. Boom! Boom! The dying of the bones, the endless white bones roared above the bones of the sea, and seemed to wait until the dragon flew, and began to kill. On the other hand, the division will not reinforce the bones. They were blasted by the dragon before. However, after Long Fei became the master of the white bone throne, he understood. As long as the bones are there, they can gather infinitely. Of course, Baigu Tianjun is an accident. As the enemy of Long Fei, death is the only result. At this time, the monks of the Tongxian continent above the entire battlefield were completely rioted. Whether it is Shan Haizong, the Dark Emperor is still on the water side, or the Yaozu. No one can stay calm. At this moment, with the arrival of countless white bones, they finally know. Why did Long Fei say that he is the master of this battlefield? Take control of this big bone army? Who dares not to accept? Can't you give in? Don't fly to the adults, don't kill me, I surrender. Yes, we recognize you are the master. Don't kill us, just let us go. After we walk out of Tongxian Road, we are willing to be your own and become your most loyal dog. In front of life and death. What is the righteousness of the sect? What is right and evil, all thrown behind them. But begging for mercy is not going to work here at Long Fei. They have already been on the Long Fei task list. Therefore, for their petition and pleading at this time, Long Fei was indifferent, and he waved his sword in his hand. Rumble. The endless white bone army swooped down directly, such as the Milky Way, and filled the entire earth in an instant. Suddenly, mourning, crying filled the whole world. And Long Fei, then Yang Jian, will lock his eyes to Chushanhai. Now, it's your turn. Kill. Long Fei has no patience to continue to consume. Everything I did before was to give enough desperation to a few people. For that, it is to pull hatred. Otherwise, Long Fei is really afraid that a few people will control what he does not know and get out of it. After all, the Tianlong King and the Blood Demon King are all related to that person. However, the means previously obtained by the two were also given by the man. At this time, hatred has spread to several people. It is enough to make them lose their mind. Good, good, good. Since you don't want to stop, fight. I don't believe if you wait, you are really invincible. The Chushan Sea was drunk, and the fierce light in his eyes was revealed. The next moment, the shadow of the mountains and seas appeared directly behind him. Shanghai town. Boom. The mountains and seas were covered and the weather was directly suppressed. The magic sense Xian was not idle at this time, and the knife in his hand moved. Life magic knife, hey! Rumble. A knife, empty the world. The infinite magical power spread directly, and even the endless sea of bones was swept away by this magical power. At this time, Zhan Tai Lingxiu also abandoned the long sword in his hand, and turned to a jade bottle. The water of Xiantian, clear the world. Zhan Tai Lingxiu Jiao sighed, and pulled a drop of mercury like water from the jade bottle. Wave. The water droplets fluctuate, and at the moment of dripping onto the void, there is an infinite stream of light suddenly. Brush. Shining light directly wash the world. Like the dirt, countless demons and bones, under this power, directly turned into ashes. It is Long Fei. Under this power, I feel the body is tight. It seems to be split and the pain is very high. However, this power, if it is before, Long Fei may only have to upgrade a road. But now, it's useless. Give it to me. With a sigh, Long Fei followed a sword and waved it out with a sword. Booming. In the hands of the dragon, the demon's sword broke out with incomparable violent temper, and the killing of the road came out. Rumble. For a moment, between the whole world, Long Fei's long sword directly resolved the attacks of several people. Hey! Unsurprisingly, the three bodies jerked back. And Long Fei, also at this time, retired hundreds of feet away. But the body is still stabilizing, above the void, once again falling 3 scorpions. Mom, the system, this time I can only rely on you. Otherwise, Laozi's plan has to be broken. Long Fei's eyes were condensed, and the long sword in the handshake was secretly praying in his heart. The next moment, a knife is thrown out. Boom! The swordsmanship is skyrocketing, and, in this moment of the swordsman's vertical and horizontal, the figure seems to condense out in this killing, with infinite resentment, rushing to the sky. Ding! Chapter 45-37. Chapter 45-37. Hey! Congratulations to the player to trigger the demon sword will kill a sword, Gentian. The system sounds quietly. And as the system sounds down, Long Fei has a sword. Jianguang condenses the truth, directly blasting the sky, across the 9 miles. At the same time, countless strong figures flashed in the sword light. Even if nothing is nothing, it is incomparably true. Boom! All of a sudden, a sword roared out and was unstoppable. The real Buddha blocks the Buddha and God blocks the killing of God. Boom! A sword was thrown out, and the 3 men's supreme killings were forced. And this time they are not as simple as regressing. Hey! 3 bodies fly straight out. Rumble. Drop directly into the endless sea of bones. Under the sword, all 3 were seriously injured. Not dead? Shouldn't it? System, say good kill? This sword will touch you. How to say you can kill one person. But now, the 3 people are just seriously injured, making Long Fei's heart very unhappy. Hey, the town is a single sword. The system gives a rude sentence. It seems to be ridiculing Long Fei, not knowing what to do. A single skill, it is good to be able to seriously hurt 3 people, but also want to kill. Inema, Long Fei spit a sentence. I feel that my IQ has received an insult. But in front of the system, he is really helpless. But after turning around, Long Fei looked at the 3 people who had been seriously injured. The corner of his mouth was picked. Hey, you are sick, you must die. Small bones, lock them. At this time, Long Fei said fiercely. Oh la la la. For a moment, the throne of the white bone emerged above the void, and the chain of white bones hangs down. In an instant, they whizzed toward the 3 people. The 3 faces changed. At this moment, they have been deeply injured and unable to resist. Hey! The white bones are worn, and they are entangled in an instant. Like a viper, they bind a few people in a circle. No, do not want. Dragon, I haven't broken him through the road, you can't kill me. Otherwise, the owner of Tongxian Road will kill you. At this moment, Chu Shanhai also said with anger. Even the words connecting the masters of Xianlu have been said. And Long Fei, his eyes are even more indifferent at this time. Sure enough, Laozi has long guessed that you have collusion with your dog. However, you are really jealous of him? Even if he appears now, he can't save you. If the man wants to kill, even if it is really a fairy, it is also a kill. Cut! Angrily screamed. Long Fei kills a glimpse, and the sword is thrown out. Puff! Under the lock of the white bone chain, Chushanhai is the fish on the cutting board, letting the dragon fly to slaughter, a sword crossed, directly piercing the chest. Hey! At this moment, the shadow of the mountains and seas behind the Chushan Sea is also an instant burst. However, at this time, the change suddenly occurred. The Chushan Sea, which should have died and turned into a corpse, turned directly into a streamer. Then, above the void, the figure of Chu Shanhai once again condensed. Undead token? Long Fei's eyes are tight. At this moment, I still don't understand. Chu Shanhai used his own immortal token to avoid death. Long Fei, very good. Wait, I'm forced to use a chance to die. The next time, I will smash you in the Tongxian Ranch, wash today's shame. Chu Shanhai sounds indifferent, and the figure condenses above the void. Then recondense the shadow of the mountains and seas, and jump between them. Small bone, Long Fei shouted. The next moment, a white chain directly flies out of a chain, walks through the air, and goes straight to the Chushan Sea. Hey! The white bone chain is very incomparable, and the blazing white light shines on the horizon, directly into the 9 miles. But, just in time, above the void, a figure directly tears the void and finds a hand from it. Hold the chain in your hand. On your own point of view, I still want to break free of my control? Do you dare to disobey my will? A group of people who don't know what to do, whether you are or someone on an isolated island, this time, you have to die. A sly voice, wrapped in the supreme pressure, fell heavily. For a moment, Long Fei only felt above his own soul, just like the sky. It's all black in front of you. At the crucial moment, the power of eternal life runs automatically, and the eternal life suddenly starts, and the dragon-fly is waking up under this pressure. For a moment, Long Fei was full of fear. The duck that arrived at it flew like this. How can Long Fei be reconciled? The things that hide the tail and tail, if you really have this ability, use the cloth so big? If you haven't guessed wrong, these 2 people should also be your dog legs? A big lie, to clear the people of the mainland and then raise a few dogs? In the end, it's just that you don't have this ability. Come on, don't you say that Lousy will die? Lousy is standing here today to see how you kill. Long Fei screamed. Although this figure is arrogant from the beginning to the end, I dare not show people in the true body. Don't think about it, you must have your own concerns. That is to say, on this mainland, there are enough people who threaten him to exist. It is precisely because of this that Long Fei will be so unscrupulous. Hey, a waste dare to yell in front of me? What about the control of the first battlefield? The old man will let you know that your white bones are not in the eyes of my eyes. Today, you will annihilate your white bones directly. There is no God, you are out. Above the void, the figure screamed. Immediately, the entire sky was directly pulled apart by a huge gap. And with the appearance of this gap, the ghosts that are visible to the naked eye, the inexhaustible atmosphere of the inexhaustible, come. This kind of breath, sorrow, ghost, evil spirit. There are even endless resentments and killings. Confused together, it makes people feel cold. What is even more terrifying is that with the appearance of this breath, Long Fei actually feels a kind of fear in the small bones. Yes, it is fear. It's like saying this kind of breath is his nemesis. Master, they are. The souls of these bones were unexpectedly all detained. It was refining into a monster like this. With them, my white bones have nothing to use, said Xiao Xiao. The sound was transmitted to Long Fei, and there was trembling in the voice. Do you really think that by your means, can you be arrogant in front of me? Since you are looking for death yourself, then today I am as you wish. Destroy you, the ancient world is no one can shoulder the power of one world, when the time when the ancient world perished. Today is your death. Above the void, the figure said coldly. After that, after a roll of hands, directly cut off the white bone chain, and bring the magic sense Xian and Zhan Tai Ling Xiu to the void. Then, he directly tore the void, pushed the 3 into it, and then turned back and said, After today there is no first battlefield in the world. Similarly, in the Wanjie, when I return, the Dragon Court will be destroyed, the Phoenix Valley will dissipate, and the ancient world will become dust. Any rebellion against me will be a death. Chapter 45-38. Chapter 45-38 Void Phantom, Emptiness. like God, control everything. But at this time, every time I say one, the anger in Long Fei's heart breeds a point. Until the other party's voice fell, Long Fei was already angry. I am doing your ancestors. If you dare to touch the people around me, Lao Ting can guarantee that the poor blue will fall on the yellow spring, and Lao Tzu will also unscrew your head. I do not care who you are. Long Fei moved to the sky. The body is like a rocket and it instantly rushes over. Whether it is an opponent or not. Since the other party has already wanted to take shots of the people around him, it must not be forbearing. Long Ting, Phoenix Valley, the ancient world is what he cares. No matter who is anyone, whoever touches whoever dies. He cultivates the roots, and he is to protect himself. Therefore, no matter who, but whoever wants to touch this line, even if it is desperate, Long Fei will not give up. However, the figure on the empty space looked at Long Fei, but without any panic, it made a sharper laugh. Ha ha ha, angry and angry, you have to have this capital. My will, no one can disobey. At the beginning, you thought why you wouldn't kill you at the stars and seas, but you want to let you provoke the world of this fairy world, and bring out some of the hidden existences. The role of your piece is nothing more than that. You can't break this space, you want to kill me? Let it go. The figure swayed and fell into the cracks in the space. The figure of Long Fei also stopped at this time. Between the rises, the endless ghost has come. Overwhelming, covering the void. The entire sky is also very dark at this moment. Endless stunned, black lightning flashing in the unknown, horrified. A sudden image of the world. Long Fei's footsteps were swept away, and the sword was thrown out between the backhands. Rumble. The sky is falling. Long Fei has a sword piercing, and the scorpion sword shines with blazing white light, and a sword is broken. Endless darkness was smashed by a dragon and a sword. One after another, the ghost is also completely annihilated under the sword of Long Fei. However, Long Fei's expression is still very dignified. Looking at the nameless figure and the crack of the disappearance of the three people in Chushanhai, the eyes hated the sky. Mom, no matter where you are, I swear, I must kill you. Long Fei hated in his heart. But at this time, Long Fei knows the sea and the sound of the little bones comes again. Master, look at it. These ghosts are too odious. If these bones dissipate, I will also be affected. The little bones are very urgent. Obviously, the power of these ghosts has been completely controlled by him. At this time, Long Fei's sight was also seen. Suddenly, Long Fei's heart was shaking. I feel that the whole person is not good. I saw that at this time, with the appearance of these ghosts, this is in the endless white bones, but if they are involved with them, they will be turned into fly ash instantly. In just a few seconds, the endless bones are directly shallower. Nearly 30% of the white bones are directly annihilated. This time, let Long Fei feel the heartache. These bones are not strong in strength, but the strong can be reorganized indefinitely, which is the existence of the level of immortality. It's gone, how can Long Fei not feel bad? This is not the case. At this time, the establishment of the horse and the Long Fei are also retreating under this force. Even if the horses are unmatched, the Long Fei mountain has a good way. Still not working. After all, this endless sorrow, and the endless white bones, is the accumulation of countless years on Tongxian Road. There are countless. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is impossible to kill. In a flash, Long Fei's heart was angered, and under the real fire, every time he swung his sword, there was no longer any reservation. Booming. The dragon's head is the white bone throne, holding the scorpion sword, and begins to lie in the endless ghost. With the shooting of Long Fei, the ghosts of the film began to annihilate. But again, the ghost is not a white bone. They also have their own consciousness. Just when Long Fei killed the killer, they even gathered together directly abandoned the attack on others, collectively targeting Long Fei. because they also know that only Long Fei is their biggest obstacle. Ah, he has a long sword in his hand, and there is my killing. Damn, I used my strength to suppress us? Destroy him. Be sure to destroy him. Endless sorrows, fangs and claws, tens of millions of people gathered together, endless evil, swept toward the dragon. Long Fei once again soared. At this moment, the power of the scorpion sword is undoubted. 50% damage bonus for these dark creatures is a natural enemy. Boom. Killing volley. Every sword is waved, and the ghosts that are made into pieces are directly annihilated. They are not annihilated when they are nearing Long Fei. A sword, two swords for a moment, Long Fei directly waved out thousands of swords, countless swords and shadows are even into pieces. The ghost that covers the sky has finally been broken by a gap that reproduces the light. But Long Fei, the action in his hand is getting slower and slower. No, it's not a way to go on, there are too many ghosts. Even if the source value of Laozi is much more, it will be consumed if it is consumed. At that time, even if I can protect myself, this side will collapse. Long Fei thought in his heart. Even the little bones came with a feeling of collapse, almost fainting in the throne space. In one thought, Long Fei has a heart in his heart. No way, only use that power. I was thinking about waiting for a while, but I didn't expect it to be used so quickly. However, I am also looking forward to the strength of the supreme power of the earth. Thinking in my heart, Long Fei intends to communicate directly with the system. The system, refining and chemical wins the shackles, and the essence of the ancients. Long Fei said, "Hey, the player will refine and win the smashing teeth and the essence of the ages. Takes about 30 seconds. Is the player refining?" The system prompts you. Direct refining. Long Fei responded. At this moment there are so many considerations. It's over. Hey, congratulations to the players, refining the essence of the ancients, the physical strength upgrade. Hey, congratulations to the players, refining and winning, and changing the physical properties. Hey, it takes 30 seconds to upgrade and evolve, please wait for the player. The system cabinet sounds down. And Long Fei, the heart also began to look forward to. Nothing else, winning the hook is too overbearing. The madness is not like words. It seems that heaven and earth cannot consolidate his inner arrogance. Therefore, Long Fei is also looking forward to this power. Time is also passing in this minute and second. And Long Fei, also the sword of the scorpion is collected, and the blade of the king of the world comes out. Then, he waved out with a knife and a knife. Finally, when Long Fei took out the 30th knife, the sound of the system finally appeared again. Chapter 45-39. Chapter 45-39. Hey, congratulations to the player. Hey, congratulations to the player's dragon flying physical attributes. Hey, congratulations to the player to acquire skills, the power of the ancestors. System sounds appear one after another. And as the system sounds down, Long Fei feels that the whole body is full of a powerful force. It seems that you have to break through your body and break your body. It is the power of creation that cannot be suppressed. An indescribable huge pressure, from inside and outside, makes Long Fei feel extremely painful. The trough, the system, what is the situation? Long Fei could not help but say. Now, what Long Fei is most worried about is not the refining and chemical power can suppress these ghosts. Instead, I was worried that I could not bear this power. It seems that the body has to be blasted. However, the system does not have any response. As before, directly silence. In desperation, Long Fei can only resist. But this power directly snarls in his tight-fitting flesh and blood, and for a time the whole person huddles directly in the void. Below, Jianma and Long Fei thought that Long Fei was physically weak. Suddenly panicked. The host! Jianma roared and jumped up. Regardless of his body has been seriously injured, it must be hard. Long Fei did not stop, and both eyes were angry. Get out! The body is full of leaps and bounds, and the laws of the mountains and seas are incomparable, directly breaking through the void. At this moment, even if they are not opponents, neither of them will retreat. Without Long Fei they are nothing. It is still indulging in the mainland of Tongxian, and it is silent. Now see Long Fei so painful. Instinct, it provokes the anger of the heart, wants to desperately. In fact, it is not just them. At this time, the white bone throne suspended above the dragon's head, and it began to riot. Directly separated from the control of Long Fei, the endless spread of endless white bone chains, crazy sweeping endless ghost. It seems that even if it is a fight, I don't want to let Long Fei be injured. Similarly, at this time under the void, the endless white bones under the control of the white bone throne began to attack the past and attacked the endless ghost. However, every attack is sent, desperate to give the head. Use human life to stop the offensive of the ghost. Because of these ghosts, this is the soul of the white bones. For these bones, there is a natural suppression effect. Hey, this stupid, actually use the power of my life to deal with us? Don't you know that these bones are gone? Can we return to China? Come on, completely cut off the previous life, become the soul of the adults, and lead the heavens. The endless horror begins to growl. Suddenly ushered in the endless white bones army, for a time, the endless white bones directly turned into fly ash, and with the annihilation of the white bones, the power of the ghosts became more tyrannical, as if they said, cut off, we'll change it as stronger and more general. In another place, 3 disciples and the demon people watched the outbreak of the battle above the void. One by one, I was scared, and my eyes were in ruins. Damn, all ran, it turned out that we are the dead ghosts. They have already had contact with the owner of Tongxian Road, but now they have abandoned us, not things. I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Someone roared, some panicked, some pleaded. In this battle, they are the most powerless party. Whether it is a bone or a ghost, it is not their strength to resist. If it is not now that Long Fei has a fork, but the battlefield of the bones and the ghosts spread to the earth, they will be torn into pieces in an instant. But no matter what, their fate is already doomed. No matter which side wins, they will inevitably die. The picture turns back and returns to Long Fei. At this time, Long Fei's forehead's blue muscles skyrocketed, and all the forces were smashing in his meridians. It is Long Fei, and some can't stand it. The huge pain made him look pale, and the pain was difficult. However, as time goes by, this pain is getting smaller and smaller. Long Fei has finally given up his mind to see his current strength. Flesh, create a second grade. The original degree has doubled. Skeleton, do not destroy the bones. The original degree has doubled. This thought, Long Fei could not help but laugh directly. Ha ha ha, it's worth it. 2 special value. Double, do you want to be so powerful? This change has made the dragon fly to the sky. His original physical strength is extremely powerful, even in the world of 10,000, it is also the top existence. Now doubled, what would it be? For a time, Long Fei had an impulse in his heart. That is to pull out the layout of the people directly out of the explosion. 1 punch and 1 punch smashed into slag. This is not a big deal. Long Fei even feels that his current power contains a haze to the extreme. It is like a collection of heaven and earth. Heaven is abandoning, and all beings are not close. It is simply the ancestors of all the dark and filthy powers in the world. This is the power to win the hook? Is it a bit too cold? Long Fei has been surprised. The stronger the power, the more like Long Fei naturally likes it. It doesn't matter now. After all, this kind of power comes out and sweeps the ghosts in front of you. But after that? If it has always been this kind of atmosphere, my own woman and brother, willing to be close to myself? Okay? No, it shouldn't be. This is skill? A dragon smashed and instantly realized it. quickly found it through the system, and I found out. After all the attributes have been improved, the accompanying skills are directly activated. Emotions are a passive skill. Is it possible to activate skills as long as you face such a dark creature? Then enter this state? Long Fei thought of it. Then, as soon as the mind was moved, Long Fei no longer hesitated. He also wanted to take a look at what this power is. In the next moment, Long Fei stepped out and went straight to the front of Jianma and Long Fei. Master, are you okay? Jianma was shocked and happy, and he came to Long Fei to come to a bear hug. Of course nothing? Just because of these existences, I want to hurt me? Non-existent. It's just that it's just refining a force that can crush them. Next, just give it to me. Lightly said, Long Fei's eyes are full of confidence and confidence. The next moment, Long Fei walked forward step by step, strolling in the air, carrying the sky. At this time, a scene of terrible scenes appeared. I saw the place where Long Fei had passed, and even the void began to crack. It seems that I can't afford the breath of Long Fei, and it starts to become unstable. Similarly, the endless ghosts and bones are quiet at this time. The bones are okay, this is the power of Long Fei, and Long Fei will not be targeted. The ghosts, but one by one, became very horrified. Even, there are a few straight hooks that are not afraid of death, staring at Long Fei, but when Long Fei's eyes are moving, they are directly turned into fly ash. Who gave you the qualifications? Look directly at me. Long Fei stepped in the town and said coldly. Chapter 45-40. Chapter 45-40. It's so violent. Before and after, it was completely different. If the previous Long Fei, with absolute power to suppress these ghosts, killed with the absolute power of the demon's sword and the king's blade. Now it is absolute crushing, rolling at the level of life. Wherein there is no change in the air, the body is released from the body and it is easy to feel the pressure. Just like the heavens and the royalties, the soldiers are small. Just breath, you can let them bow down. Therefore, at this time, Long Fei said a word, directly let the endless ghosts tremble. Just rely on you, dare to commit the following? I am here, who are you going to try? Long Fei's body was shocked, and his hand was swaying, like a gentleman, arrogant. Booming. At this moment, the endless ghosts, completely uncontrollable shivering, there are many, directly cannot stand the breath of Long Fei's breath, directly worship. Know you. You have a physical body, you are a stranger, but why do you have such a dark and evil atmosphere? I don't believe that this is impossible. This power will never exist. It is impossible to overtake our existence. Everyone is together and tears him apart. Under the invisible oppression, the endless ghosts began to roar. And Long Fei, the expression on his face is more and more indifferent. Mom sells the batch, I want to learn to win and hook up, I can't think of a group that is not afraid of death. But it's just right, since you are not afraid of death, then Laozi will send you to hell. In the heart of Long Fei's heart, immediately, in the eyes, an indescribable breath appeared. Disaster. Haze. Anger. The temper is extremely complicated, as if all the negative emotions in the world are united. For a time, even Long Fei was shocked by his own breath. However, he himself knows that the emergence of this kind of atmosphere is completely related to the win. Who is the winning hook? That is the originator of the zombie generation. Zombies are the gods, and the gods are far from being there. It is only this point that can explain how this kind of breath is so horrible, and Long Fei can imagine, winning the hook in this journey of being abandoned by heaven and earth, how much unwillingness and resentment suffered in the heart. Therefore, if there is such a breath, it can be explained. And Long Fei carries this kind of power, and it is reasonable to have the bonus of this power. On the other hand, this endless sorrowful roar snarls, rewinding, one after the other, overlapping. Suddenly attacked directly from the dragon above the void. Tooth dancing claws. Endless anger. But Longfei, just faintly watching, motionless, completely dismissive. The owner is careful. The white bone reminded in the white bone throne that it was extremely weak, and the sound was weak and undetectable. If you haven't already had a long-term relationship with Longfei, you can't let Longfei feel it. Reassure, don't say that they are just ghosts, even if they were born before. Lao Tzu is not afraid. Longfei said in his heart. At this point, Longfei does not have an exact concept for the increase of his own bone properties. But with his own physical strength, Longfei has absolute confidence. In the beginning of the world, with the power of the flesh can sweep the king of heaven. Even in this Tongxian mainland, the physical strength alone, Longfei also has absolute confidence, hard just called the person. Now that power has doubled, it's not just 1 + 1 = 2. Because the repair is more late, the power has reached the limit of one person, there is no special opportunity, it is extremely difficult to improve 1 point. Want to double, impossible. It is also a dragonfly because there is a system of this superplug. As for the creation of the second level, in the end, to what extent Longfei also wants to know. At the moment it is precisely an opportunity. The picture is revolving, and the endless horror is incomparable. Untiring empty air. Make the entire sky dark again. The endless horror roared, groaning, step by step. If you want to devour the entire void, you will be swallowed up. And at this time the dragon flew. The whole person stepped out in one step and made a fist and directly rushed into the ghost. The figure of Longfei is like a dragon. At this moment it is twisted and twisted. At the center of the endless ghost, it changes rapidly. The strength is evenly layered and erupted above the double fist. Rumble. Rumble. Endless ghosts, at this time is the generality of paper paste, no resistance, a punch, there are nearly tens of thousands of ghosts annihilation. Ah! Impossible, what is this power? This kind of flesh. His physical strength is strong, and he is bloody, so I can't get close. Monster, this is a monster! At this moment, the endless ghost is really fearful. Start to retire. At this time, the void was also torn by the ghosts. One by one, I want to escape. But, impossible. Now want to go? Late. The dragon screamed and screamed out of the sword. However, the scorpion sword at the moment has completely changed from the previous one. Before it was the forest bones, but at the moment, with the influx of dragon flying body, the whole sword body also appeared 2 fangs, showing the bloodthirsty and killing light. Cut. A dragon flies out of the sword, killing the enemy, killing the breath of all beings, and whistling out from the long sword. Then, a huge phantom appeared on the empty box. At this moment, Longfei is also paralyzed. When the shadow of the hook? System, what's going on? It is Longfei, and my heart is also very strange. He thought that refining the fangs of winning the hook, the power belongs to himself. I didn't expect it at all. At this time, a sword was thrown out, and even the fangs could emerge. It is even more able to find out the virtual shadow of winning the hook. Don't be too violent. Above the entire void, the endless ghosts are nowhere to be seen at this time. Even those who escaped into the cracks in the air were also won the shadow of the hook and grabbed it back. Then, one hand pinch. Then, the shadow of the windhook is even more crazy, and the endless ghosts are under the big eyes of the wind shadow. Like Naruto, a slaughter is a village. Don't be too violent. The stronger the power, the more the strange colors in Longfei's eyes. I don't understand at all, I've already won the battle, and why is it happening today? System, what is going on here? Winning a hook is not already refining by me, but can also be turned into a skill? Put it outside? Oh, the power to win the hook has been thoroughly tempered by the players into the bones and flesh. The scorpion sword is also a white bone, and it can carry the power of winning the hook, so it can directly erupt this power to the extreme. The system responded. Longfei nodded. Understand that this is the point. Although he refining the power of winning the hook, he strengthened his own attribute. However, if you want to really break the power of winning, you need media. The scorpion sword is undoubtedly the best choice. Long Fei does not care, anyway, it is his own strength. At this time, above the entire void, under a sword, when the virtual shadow directly suppressing hundreds of thousands of ghosts. Indiscriminate slaughter. It can be said that between a sword, it is directly violent. Boom. For a time, the sky returned to Qingming again. Endless ghosts also directly bottom. Chapter 45-41. Chapter 45-41. For a moment, the ghost is gone. There are no left, all of them are turned into ash powder fly ash, dissipated in the void. At this point, everyone's eyes are all fixed on Long Fei. Shocked, feared, and surrendered. I am Chao, master, do you want to be so violent? Bog. Jianma language is incoherent. For Long Fei, this is blind trust. Now, Long Fei has a sword that destroys the endless soul. It is also refreshing the inner worship of Long Fei. In his cognition, even if he is going to come here, he can't do this. At this moment, what is the legend of the mountains and seas, and what is the magic of the world, our joke? There is no comparability at all. I have been beaten by Long Fei before, and I have no power to fight back. Now, even a few people are attracted by the existence of the latter. In front of Long Fei is vulnerable. He is getting stronger again. Long Fei sighed in the heart. But it is embarrassing and gratifying, if you find your own direction. At this time, Long Fei has no more joy. A sword destroys the ghost. Although the violent storm is a mess. However, Long Fei is not a little excited. Nothing broke. Moreover, it is not even counted as the number of tasks. This point makes Long Fei an abnormal liver pain. System, why can't these be considered system tasks? Do you look down on the ghost? The ghost is not a copy of the soldier? Long Fei asked. It is unusually angry to be indifferent to the system. Hey, the player's goal in the mission is a creature, not a dead spirit. The system responded coldly. System, this is a hole in the air. There is no such explanation in the original mission. Long Fei said without expression. Although this result has been guessed. After all, the number of this ghost is too much. It is the soul of the dead that has accumulated in countless years on this road. If you can really break something, even a few hundred points of experience is enough for the soaring level to soar. Therefore, the system will never let such a bug. But now I hear the answer from the system, it is very uncomfortable. After all, this time it is so easy to destroy the ghost, but refining the power to win the hook. If there is no return, how can Long Fei be willing? System, let's talk about it, don't need much, so many ghosts, just give dozens of experience Dan, that's it. Otherwise, one day, when Laozi enters the Supreme Plane and finds the system designer, he must be frank with this game experience. Long Fei tentatively said. In front of the system, he is always passive. Even if it is sometimes able to get stuck in the system, but in many cases the system is unrelentingly rejected. However, this time there are no exceptions. The system is directly silent. It seems that the silence did not hear the words of Long Fei. Sure enough, the pit cargo system. Long Fei's heart is in the belly. I feel hopeless. There is no longer any expectation. Turning around will quit the system space. But at this moment, the sound of the system suddenly appeared. Hey, congratulations to the players to eliminate the ghosts of the celestial beings and reward the soul-raising system. The soul of the dead system. The system provides resources to forge a dead army for the player. And Long Fei, the eyes are bright. Death Soul Enhancement System? System, is this a special reward? Long Fei asked. A completely unexpected reward. Hey, the system has been successful. Hey, the endless bones are swallowed up. Hey, the bone core is in a state of slumber, for 3 months. The system ignored the dragonfly, a voice prompt. At the moment, the endless white bone disappears directly, and it is not seen out of thin air. 3 months? There should be no difference in time. And Long Fei's gaze saw some accumulated tasks in the system's character block. Guarding the Yangshan world, guarding the Great Yangjie, and the 13th Emperor system that has not yet been perfected. The heart is helpless. But now is not the time to consider these. After all, there is still a wave of experience waiting for the harvest. At this time, Long Fei also felt that the consciousness of the small bones has disappeared in the white bone throne. Needless to say, it was also included in the system of the undead. Between the vagueness, Long Fei's heart gave birth to a few expectations. At this time, the entire first battlefield was completely mired in silence. 3 disciples and the Yaozu, after the robbery, looked at the dragon flying above the void. At this moment, they only want to live in their hearts. What is the chance of Tongxian Road? It does not care at all. The chance is to be strong, and you have to have a life to enjoy. One after another, all 3 people fell directly. Adult, forgive me. We are all small, and there is no difference in killing or killing. Yes, yes, don't kill us, we will quit, and we will never be against you again. Countless rhythms appeared. Now they are still dare to fight against Long Fei. Even the courage of direct vision has been completely annihilated by Long Fei. The current Long Fei is the master who controls their power to kill and kill. There is no second way to seek mercy. However, this kind of seeking for mercy is simply useless for Long Fei. This is the experience. Long Fei will let them go? Non-existent. One look, Long Fei looks to build a horse. The Jianma is a gloomy smile, and then once again incarnate the body, and immediately picks up the Thunder World, the massacre of destruction. Booming. In a flash, the entire battlefield became a thunder purgatory. Coupled with the ruthless stamping of the horse, in the entire space, the 3 disciples of all people were directly killed by a naked eye. Dragon's face is quiet, obviously it's already accepted, the rules of the game between the strong. The next moment, Dragon Flying also joined the battlefield and launched a crazy killing. A series of sounds of the system also appeared. Hey, congratulations to the players to eliminate the total of 18,000 in Tongxian Road. Gained experience of 90 billion, the source value is 9 billion, and the violent value is 1 point. The system sounds down. Changed to experience Dan. Long Fei said directly. At this time, as the system sounds down, his mission progress has begun to change, leaving 37,000 people. At this time, I did not wait for Long Fei to think more, and the whole space began to tremble violently. As before, the space is shattered. Moreover, this time is more thorough. As if there is any external force in which to control, the void directly begins to collapse and crack. Go! With a big bang, Long Fei's power was rolled up, with Jianma and Long Fei directly rushing into the crack above the void. And at the moment when several people disappeared, the entire first battlefield was completely destroyed in the endless chaos and ceased to exist. And the 3 people of Long Fei, in the moment after rushing into the crack, the 3 eyes are certain. This is a road that spreads to nothingness. In front of them, there is a boulder standing on the stone, and the stone is engraved, Tongxian. Chapter 45-42. Chapter 45-42. A road that spreads to endless nothingness. Endless, beyond the end, it is endless, just like there is another area. Master, what is going on? Is the battlefield we used to be a joke? Jianma is unbelievable. It is Long Fei, and at this time, my heart is extremely depressed. Whether it is from the Bone Kong Junjun mouth or the endless white bones, it has already been explained that the people of Tongxian mainland, from the beginning to the present, the left-going Tongxian road, to the first battlefield, is the end. Long Fei also guessed that outside the first battlefield, It is very likely that it was the Tongxian ranch mentioned in his mission. It seems that the mistake is outrageous. A big scam. Long Fei sighed. Ha ha, that's ridiculous. The people of Tongxian mainland will also regard the sacred road as sacred, as if it is more remarkable. It seems that today is a group of big fools. It has been counted for millions of years. From the beginning to the end, there has never been a person who has set foot on Tongxian Road. Long Fei said with a laugh. I can't say what it feels like in my heart. I can only say that I feel sad for those who have entered Tongxian Road. For the rest of your life, for a fairy path. In the end, the soul was refining into a ghost. The bones after death have also become part of the first battlefield, and they must not be superborn forever. It can only be described as sad. Master, you mean, is this the real Tongxian Road? Before it was just a short journey, an appetizer? Jianma was also awakened suddenly, asked. There is a faint color in the bottom of my eyes. If this is the real Tongxian Road, then they have been entering Tongxian Road again and again for countless years. What is it for? If I guess it is good, it should be like this. However, there is no difference. What Tongxian Road is deceptive. It doesn't matter if you come in or not, Long Fei said. Even now, he still doesn't know the figure. But from its words you can guess. This so-called Tongxian Road, this is a bureau. Especially this time, I even pulled myself into it and became a chess piece. However, what the other party can't think of is that this piece of chess is not something he can control. Long Batian used Long Fei as a chess piece and has not succeeded so far. A person who does not dare to appear in the real body is also equipped with a dragon-flying chess piece? Non-existent. As for dragon, it's just watching, not saying a word. It seems that everything is not related to him. Long Fei didn't care too much. After all, let him go to this step, which is beyond the expectations of Long Fei. Looking at Long Fei suddenly moved in front of him. Reassure, wait for me to explode Chu Shanhai, the mountain road that he controls is also yours. This world, I will not stay too long. You have proved with enough strength and courage to prove that you have the determination to become a strong. Long Fei said. Long Fei nodded and didn't say much. Just ask. The white deer and your woman will disappear directly from the beginning of the battlefield. I think, should we find them first? Long Fei said. As for another result, he never thinks about it. After all, Long Fei has not mentioned it until now, and it proves that it has already been known about their situation. No, if it is the least likely to have any crisis on this road, it must be two of them. Their mystery, even I can't figure it out. The average person wants to leave them, it is impossible, Long Fei said. However, after the reminder of dragon flying, the appearance of the two people flashed in my mind. Just don't know, what is the identity of the two in this game? Long Fei thought of a sentence, but it did not show it. Of course, for two people, Long Fei has already become a person. One as his own brother. A woman who is her own. However, the origins of the two people are too special, so that Long Fei can only guess. At this time, the road in front of the three people suddenly became flickering. Long Fei's eyes turned and hesitated. Go! Step by step, Long Fei took advantage of the trend. Jianma and Long Fei followed closely and followed Long Fei. For 3 days, the three always circled on this road. It's that Long Fei feels tired, and this road has never come to an end. Even, as usual, at first glance there is no real truth at all. Long Fei's footsteps jerked a slap in the face, and a bad premonition emerged in his heart. No, according to our speed, even if this road traverses the entire Tongxian continent, it should be able to see the end now. 3 days of time, the fingers disappeared, but Long Fei's heart was not at all easy. Because he still has a task. According to time, there is only 1 day left. In front of the system, there is no sentimentality. If you really can't complete the task, it is very possible to remove Tongxian Road. This is what Long Fei is worried about. But now, I can't see the end at all, and I don't want to let Long Fei feel a little embarrassed. Master, I feel it when you say this. From the beginning of this road, I have a feeling. It seems like we are walking on a giant beast. I can even feel the violent heartbeat. Jianma said that his face was dignified. Long Fei is also a glimpse. What is the temperament of building a horse? Not to mention that the sky is not afraid, but it makes him feel fearful, very few. Moreover, Jianma is different from him. Although he owns the Longgu, he is now a human being. The establishment of a horse is not the same, it is a complete beast. Therefore, some kind of perception Long Fei cannot tell the truth is unknown. The behemoth? Impossible? What is there, will it be so big? Long Fei said with doubt. This statement of Jianma is too horrible. For 3 days, I said that I have gone hundreds of millions of miles. If it is really a beast, how big is it? I don't know, but this feeling is true. And I think it will wake up. Jianma said that he couldn't help but tremble and write down. Long Fei's face is also a change. I just want to say if there are some people who are worried. Suddenly, a shock and roar suddenly produced at the foot. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The roar continued, one after another. At the same time, Long Fei also felt the whole road, and it also suddenly broke between at this time. A slap in the face also appeared. This time, I can't believe it. This so-called Tongxian road is a giant monster body. For a time, Long Fei couldn't think too much, and directly swept the two people behind him, and then jumped up and down, vertical and horizontal, away from the so-called road. Tsang, you are a stupid old thing, using tricks to suppress Laozi for so long. I want to send people to harass. Do you want me to bully? Chapter 45-43. Chapter 45-43. The behemoth is loud and earth-shattering. This is the real vibration world. It is Long Fei. At this moment, I also feel the pain of the flesh. It seems that under the erosion of this sound, it will break down. I am going, what is this in the end? It's just a voice, my body can't afford it? Long Fei's heart was flooded, and 10,000 horses and mud horses rushed through his heart. The moment before, in the first battlefield, he also considered his own flesh can turn countless enemies in seconds. Fearless. Today I was directly beaten. System, there is a sentence to sell the batch. I don't know if it is inappropriate. Long Fei's heart is sinking. Inexplicable. He felt that this was the system in the pit. Even if you think I just asked you for compensation, don't you hurt me? The same crack, the old man came in without the existence of the other party. Do you still come up with one that exists? Do you want to play with the dead? Long Fei said one after another. Hey, the player enters the unknown area and is beyond the control of the system? Hey, the danger coefficient here is 100 stars. Please withdraw as soon as possible, otherwise it will be life-threatening. Hey, please log out as soon as possible. At this time, the system sounds appear one after another. The dragon flies. A face is arrogant. What? Beyond the system control? Isn't this what you sent me in? Long Fei was shocked and asked. Hey, space cracks, this is unstable. There is no trajectory and space is very normal. The player must have entered a dusty space. Please ask the player to quit as soon as possible. Otherwise, the system is not responsible for any conditions. The cold sound of the system said again. And Long Fei's heart can no longer be calm at this moment. Even the system has been repeatedly warned, and the place is definitely dangerous. However, quit? How could it be so simple? If this giant has not awakened, Long Fei may still have some confidence and leave the space to leave. However, now this giant has awakened and directly opened the invincible mode. In a word, it has already made his body feel pain. At this time, it is tantamount to killing. At this time, Jianma and Long Fei also stunned Master. What is this? I am Chao, so big. It's over, this time it's dead. Boss, we have to finish this time. Jianma language said incoherently. In the face of this supergiant, directly lost the courage of fighting. Dragons is constantly shaking its head. Impossible, how can there be such a creature in the world, and it is still being suppressed, how is this possible? Long Fei said breathlessly. Although his cultivation is not weak, his physical strength is far from that of Long Fei and Jianma. Even Long Fei will feel severe pain, and he can't bear it. Even between the words, there was already blood in the pores of the whole body, and the whole person was weakened instantly. In the eyes of Long Fei there is a condensate, quiet, and the eternal life in the eyes automatically starts. A ferocity is also emerging in the eyes. You can rest assured that if I am there, I will not let you have anything. Now you have to find a place to wait for me. I want to see if I am. What is this? Long Fei said in a heart, since it has been retired. Then hard work. Even if it is impossible, Long Fei will never compromise. As soon as I read this, Long Fei's figure quickly rose into the air, such as pulling up the onion in the dry land, and instantly leaping into the endless void. At the same time, Long Fei directly spreads the knowledge, and wants to perceive it. What is this? But as a result, Long Fei was extremely disappointed. Even if he spreads the power of God's knowledge to the maximum extent, he still can't perceive it. Ha ha ha, not self-sufficient existence, you are not a little bit, and dare to perceive me? At this moment the voice reappeared. I don't care what you are, but Lao Tzu has nothing to do with the sage in your mouth. Long Fei said. Extremely tough. Even the scorpion sword and the king's blade are ready, and the big deal is hard. However, what makes Long Fei puzzled is that after his voice fell, the other party was directly silent. There is only a heavy breathing sound between the whole world. Hey, are you not here? Long Fei asked. Kid, I ask you, why do you have a master's breath in your body? A dragon flies, knows the sea, and introduces a voice. Don't think, this sound is the supergiant. Long Fei's eyes flashed. Some doubts. The smell of your master? Impossible, Laozi is the first time to come to this world. How can he have contact with your master? Long Fei asked. At the same time, I keep thinking about my mind. But in the end, Long Fei is extremely certain that he absolutely does not know the master of this supergiant. After all, this supergiant with the breath can make you feel oppressed. How strong is his master? It can't be wrong, you have the smell of my master. Not only you, but also the body of the boy below. However, his only strength. And you, but there is a brand of the owner. Kid, tell me, where is my master? The sound was passed into the mind of the dragon. Even with an infinite eagerness and expectation. This kind of emotion makes Long Fei's heart unbearable, seems to be infected, and feels infinite sadness. However, what really shocked Long Fei was the words of this giant. There is also a force on the body of Long Fei. Is there a mark on his body? Hey! In an instant Long Fei's brain roared. A figure directly comes to mind. Night Child Charm. The power of Long Fei is the clearest. However, it is the atmosphere of the 9 mountains and seas. It is not surprising that this power is the strength of Shan Haizong. The only possibility to remove these 9 forces is the power of the night bones. I am going this. This is unlikely. If you say that there is such a giant pet in the night, what is her origin? Long Fei's heart pounded. At the same time, there is also a plan in mind. Well, since you see it, I don't hide it. Frank. Actually, this time I came, it is the commission of your master, let me take you away. Long Fei said. Whether it is or not, now only Sima can become a living horse doctor. Master asked you to come? Ha, let me say, I lost so long, the master will miss me. However, what makes Long Fei unexpected is that his voice has just fallen. I received a voice in my mind, a very cheering voice. Yes, it is excitement. And it is still the kind of breath that is difficult to suppress. For a time, Long Fei's heart was a bit moving. This kind of emotion is more than that of his brother. Thinking of this, there are even some embarrassments in the mind of Long Fei. But soon, Long Fei will suppress this thinking. It is big, and the task is the biggest. Therefore, Long Fei thought must be, and continued, "Yes, your master asked me to take you away. So, do you want to think about it? Let me see you first, then say something else?" Chapter 45-44. Chapter 45-44. Long Fei is constantly confused. Regardless of whether this giant is in front of you, is it a pet of the night? Now it's a trick. In short, the area before leaving is the key. It's not impossible for you to see me, but you have to make sure that you must take me to find my master, otherwise I will swallow you. The voice is awkward and comes again. A dragon flies. Take a breath of air. This supergiant. If you really want to swallow yourself, you are afraid that it is not enough. Imagine being directly put into your mouth as an ant, thinking about it is a cold. However, the arrow is on the string and has to be sent. Reassure, since I said it, I will do it. Long Fei solved it. And his voice just fell. I feel that my feet are empty and I start to fall down. The construction of the horse in the distance is the same as that of Long Fei, losing its foothold and instinctively falling. It seems that you have lost your gravity and you can't stand on the void. Rumble. Boom. In front of us, the so-called Tongxian road has disappeared. I saw a huge, inconspicuous black shadow and slowly began to get up. At this moment, Long Fei was completely shocked. Infinite oppression also converges on the mind with the appearance of this shadow. This feeling is even more tens of times stronger than when I first faced the deity. It's like a small country that sees giants. A natural suppression. Although, to the extent of Long Fei, the bigger the difference, the more powerful it is. But what is in front of you is definitely an accident. Very big, very powerful. However, Long Fei has long been no longer. With his strength, crossing the void is nothing to say, let alone no gravity. Just for a moment, Long Fei adjusted his breath and posture and faced it with all his strength. At this time, the huge black shadow in front of the eyes began to shrink rapidly. Just a blink of an eye, the shadow disappeared, and instead it became a blue light. The whole world was also recovering from a clear time at this time, and it was very empty. Long Fei's heart is amazed. Is it really short-sighted, and the disparity before and after the avatar is so big? Long Fei said in his heart. It's amazing. But what makes him curious is that this giant is so powerful, who can seal it here? To what extent is it tyrannical? In the thought, Long Fei's eyes also gave birth to infinite warfare. Long Fei has already felt that the mystery above the mainland has reached the end. The layer of veil has been uncovered by itself. Therefore, no one can make Long Fei retreat. It's over. Moreover, nowadays, this giant has been tricked into the side, completely a super trump card. When it comes to the real thing, what else is wrong? See God killing God. And at this time, the blue light spot slowly approached him in the void. Just like the blue stars, every step of the way, flashing a dreamy light spot. Illuminate the entire void. It is Long Fei, and there is a moment of silence in my heart. It seems to be extremely quiet. Gradually, the blue light spot is getting closer and closer, and Long Fei's heartbeat is gradually accelerating. He really wants to see, this is the real giant in the tens of thousands of miles, what is the existence of what? However, outside this blue light group, it is a special atmosphere and strength wrapped around it, that is, Long Fei does not dare to easily test, for fear of angering this monster. Well, kid, I have shown the real body, you can take me to find my master. A very irritable voice was introduced into Long Fei's mind. With the introduction of this sound, Long Fei finally captured the real body of this giant. For a moment, Long Fei Petrochemical was on the spot. He can't think of it anyway. Nothing else, just because of this image, completely out of the expectations of Long Fei. Cat. A cat with a blue star shining all over. I rely on it, is it really just a cat? Long Fei feels that the entire person's IQ has received insult. Obviously, Long Fei's emotional changes also make the cat in front of him feel, "Kid, are you looking for death? Believe it or not, this adult has swallowed you in one breath?" Within the blue light group, the breath became fierce again. A road of pressure is also released. Even the body began to swell and seemed to be transformed into a true body. Long Fei's face is also a condensate and becomes cautious. However, in the next moment, the blue light group flickered directly, like a deflated balloon, and instantly recovered. Even the resulting pressure is completely devoid of the horror of the past, and at the moment of the impending dragonfly, it is directly washed away by the power of the second-generation creation. For a moment, a dragon flies. The cat in the blue light group, that is, the Scorpio, is also a glimpse. I rub play. Long Fei was shocked. The gap between the front and back is really too big. Even Long Fei has a feeling of being shackled. The strong deception tastes above my heart. Even with this cat, it is no longer as good as before. Cough, kid, this is an accident. Yes, this adult has been sealed for too long. Just recovered, the power will not break out. But don't think about yelling at me, otherwise I can swallow you, Scorpio said, still proud. But the tone is not as strong as before. Long Fei's heart instantly fell to the bottom of the valley. I thought that I had a trump card that I couldn't do, but I didn't expect it to be just a Hello Kitty. There is absolutely no interest at all. Forget it, I don't have any thoughts to tell you anything else. I will ask you how to get out of this space. Long Fei asked. The attitude is directly changing from 180 degrees. There is no previous worry or caution at all. And Scorpio just want to go back. You can see the eyes of Long Fei, and swallowed back. Forcing me to have no seizures, staring at the dragon and flying. Boy, you will regret it. You wait for the grown-up to regain strength and adapt to the status quo. Even if you have a relationship with the master, I will let you kneel down to me. Scorpio thought secretly. But in the end, under the gaze of Long Fei, he said faintly, I don't know. When I was framed by others, I woke up and was already in this space. As for what it is, I don't know. Scorpio said. At this moment, Long Fei's face was completely cold. Sighed. So, you just have no use at all? Long Fei sounds extremely cold. Before I thought of it, I actually played in front of a cat and said good things. Long Fei felt the hot face on his face. It is simply a temptation on the edge of mental retardation. Fart, who said that this adult is useless. This adult is the favorite pet of the owner. One of my anger, everything has to tremble. Kid. Scorpio is extremely angry, seems to be looked down by Long Fei, making him very unhappy. To shut up. Chapter 45-45. Chapter 45-45 Long Fei shouted. If it is not the suspicion of this cat in the heart, there is a connection between the knight and the child. Long Fei now wants to kill the killer. There will be no hesitation. I used to think that I have encountered a lot of existence, I can't think of a cat that is nothing. What use is you in addition to being in blue? Long Fei said disdain. Kid, don't be arrogant, wait for the day to regain strength, and let you kneel in minutes. Scorpio said. Even if it can't be transformed now, it is still very proud. I waited, but now, since you don't have this ability, you will get to the side. Don't delay lousy doing business. Long Fei said. In any case, it is imperative to get out of this space. No doubt, as the system said. This space should be connected to Tongxian Road, even before the battlefield. However, it is by no means a fairy pasture. After all, the mission was not completed and Long Fei was not eligible to enter. In the awkward road that emerged before, Long Fei also believes that it is no coincidence. Oh, I ask you, what happened to the stone monument on your body when you were incarnate? Long Fei asked. Above the stone monument engraved on the fairy. If it was later established, you should know that day. What stone monument this adult does not know. Anyway, since I woke up, I have never been in this space, Scorpio said. At the same time, the eyes began to move quickly in space. It seems to be searching for something. Immediately, the eyes of Tianzhu condensed and found the stone monument that Long Fei said. Tong Xian? Passing a fart, this is not a piece of scrap on the fruit beads, dare to say Tong Xian? Don't think about it, it must be the old thing of Tsang, made to confuse the world. Scorpio said. Long Fei's eyes turned. Do you say this stone is a scrap on the pillar of heaven? Also, is that person called Tsang? Long Fei asked. Instinctively, Long Fei felt that the Tsang in the mouth of Tianzhu was the one he had seen before. Hey, scared you, chaos thieves. When the owner returns, he will be suppressed, and he will never be superborn. Scorpio said proudly. Long Fei's eyes moved. For Scorpio, direct selectivity is ignored. For such a daily bragging, his words are somewhat credible, and Long Fei has no concept at all. But in the words of Scorpio, Long Fei is more and more convinced. That person is the sage that is said in the mouth of the sky. Don't say it's useless. If you know that it is Tsang, then you tell me why it is a chaotic thief, and whether you are also suppressed here, and your master, with Tsang, what is the cause and effect? Long Fei asked in succession. Every time I ask, Long Fei feels that it is getting closer and closer to the truth. Kid, some things are not something you can inquire. This matter involves too much. Scorpio is pretentious. It seems that I am a high-ranking person, and it seems that I have found a sense of existence here. Can't help but want to show big. Long Fei's eyes are dark and a black line. Don't talk nonsense. If you want to go out and find your master as soon as possible, let me know what you know. Long Fei's voice sank and said faintly. The proudness of the face of Scorpio disappeared instantly and became an excitement. Really? Scorpio said quickly. That depends on how much you know, Long Fei said. Actually, I don't know much about the year. The expression on the face of Scorpio is very strong. I also said before, I was framed by people. So many things happen during the time of sleep. But one thing I saw was my own eyes, that is, the master has fallen. Scorpio said, there was an endless grief in his eyes. Very heavy. Long Fei is a depressed face. Scorpio's answer is completely superfluous, and there is no use for breaking this space. For a time, Long Fei's eyes also showed a touch of helplessness. Yes, it is at this time. Because the Scorpio body returned to the deity, under the open air of the earth, a sudden stench broke out. Strange smell is incomparable. Immediately afterwards, the monsters that followed one another began to surge from the ground. Long Fei's line of sight was also attracted to this moment. The corpse? How can there be such a thing here? No, should you? At this time, the face of Scorpio suddenly changed. Full of doubts. But in a blink of an eye, the eyes of Scorpio suddenly burst into an urgent and incomparable hatred. Kid, I know, under this space, it should be the exit you are looking for. Scorpio said suddenly. How do you know? Long Fei asked a question. I still didn't know anything about it. Now, after the mood is fluctuating, can I be so sure? Because this day the corpse. Only the most powerful person in the world is degraded, and it is possible to derive this kind of insect. And this space, no one except me, no one exists. The only possible explanation is that there is still a place under this space. Scorpio said. Long Fei is slightly indulged. But before he could speak, Scorpio said again. Yes, it must be like this. No wonder Tsang will frame me and let me sleep here. Because of my strength, I just restrained the smell of the corpse. Well, I used to restrain my master. Tian Hao hated and said, the more you say the more the atmosphere. Long Fei's eyes are a glimpse. For the words of Scorpio, can't you believe it? But, however, since this is a possibility, Long Fei cannot give up. Moreover, the appearance of the corpse on this day also made Long Fei's heart move. Originally, there was only 1 day left. If the mission fails, he will be expelled. At the moment, it is a good opportunity. Thinking of this, Long Fei's eyes were shocked and the murder was surging. No matter what you said, I will believe you once. Build a horse work. Long Fei shouted and immediately shot. The next moment, Long Fei squats and dives, and does not care about the taste of the corpse on this day. Directly launch a fierce fight. Hey! How! A sword smashed, and the power of winning the hook reaggregated. Sharp can't be done. Directly become the nemesis of this day's corpse, crushing the slaughter. Jianma and Long Fei also joined the battlefield at this time. Under the power of the two, countless corpses were constantly being annihilated. Hey, congratulations to the player, Dragonfly kills the corpse. A series of prompts appeared in the system. However, Long Fei did not care. These existences also do not reveal anything at all. The so-called experience is some. What Long Fei really cares about is the task of the system. But now, Long Fei has been immersed in the killing, and still keeps out the sword. Finally, at the moment when Long Fei killed the last day of the corpse, the system sound reappears. Hey, congratulations to the players to complete the mission and eradicate the 90,000 people in the Tongxian corner. Chapter 45-46. Chapter 45-46. Hey, congratulations to the players for getting into the Tongxian ranch. Hey, congratulations to the players to kill the corpse and gain a cumulative experience of 300 billion. The system sounds down. Long Fei's eyes flashed in the eyes. The joy of accident. I did not expect that when I completed the task, I could still gain 300 billion experience. All are transformed into experience, Dan. Long Fei said. Upgrade now, some waste. An upgrade is tantamount to not killing, but it will be useful later. Moreover, the crisis on Tongxian Road is very serious, and Long Fei naturally has to prepare for both hands. Hey, the upgrade experience translates into 10 experience dawn. Long Fei is satisfied. The unpleasantness that was born before because of the Scorpio was also put aside. Instead, look at the horizon and the boundless land. At this time, with the destruction of the corpse, in this space, it has changed again and again. The original corpse covered the entire land and is now cleared. Above the earth, it also became radiant. The colorful light is gorgeous, filling from the earth like the sea of light, beautiful. People feel the heart is very refreshing. It seems that there is something there, and now I see it again. Sure enough, the Tsang let Laozi to suppress such filthy things. Damn, wait for Laozi to find the owner, and let the master destroy you in minutes. At this time, the side of the sky looked at the sigh of breath underneath, the atmosphere said. Then, don't wait for Long Fei and others to move and go straight. Then, as if it were memorable, it was still in the sea of light and quieted down. At this time, Jianma and Long Fei also came to Long Fei. Master, what is this super monster? I can't see it at all. Jianma said. In his eyes, it is still just a group of blue light. I can't see the body of Scorpio at all. What a supergiant, it is a cat. Long Fei said. Extremely disdainful. No, he is not ordinary. Although it is just a cat, it gives me the feeling that it is stronger than the wild beast. Long Fei suddenly said. This is also the first time he has spoken about the disobedience of Long Fei. Okay? What did you see? Long Fei asked. I can't say this feeling, but there is an instinct. If the cat is worried, even if it is the whole continent, it can be destroyed in an instant. Long Fei said. A dragon flies. The eyes became calmer. Dragons will not lie to himself. This is a certainty. In the same way, Long Fei can have this feeling, and it also confirms Long Fei's speculation. That is, this cat is most likely to have a relationship with the night. This point, before the Scorpio said that Long Fei had the smell of his master, Long Fei had already guessed it. Plus, now in the phrase dragon flying, it is so firm. It is to let Long Fei believe. Because, even the construction of the horse cannot see the existence, Long Fei can see the true body, can be imagined. For a time, Long Fei's eyes looked at Tianzhu and changed again. Is this guy so powerful? It seems that you should be careful not to let any moths appear in the future. Long Fei thought in his heart. Immediately, it is also moving toward the bottom of the spot. Step by step. The closer it is, the quieter it is in the heart of Long Fei. As the same epiphany, the four are all empty, and the heart is very peaceful. But there is another inexplicable sorrow in this peace. It is like a kind of faith, full of faint sadness. Scorpio, what is this power? Long Fei went forward and asked. Scorpio looked at Long Fei with a faint look, and the pupils were unwilling and hateful. This is the day. Scorpio silently, in the tender, with incomparably heavy. In an instant Long Fei's eyes glimpsed. Day. Unbelievable. But Scorpio's eyes told him that Scorpio did not lie to him. However, this statement is unheard of. I have experienced countless before. The sky has fallen, and Long Fei has experienced it. But in the end, it is just a cultivation of a powerful person, and it is only a part of the face, and it must be destroyed. Therefore, in the knowledge of Long Fei, heaven, but it is just an illusory title. Heaven and earth, the endless universe. It is just an ancestor but a definition of the definition of this innocent universe. Invisible and incomparable, it is impossible to be anything specific. But now, it is told by Tianzhu, is it the sky? Still the day. How can you not be shocked? At this time, Scorpio suddenly said, with your level, it is impossible to get in touch with these things. Life can be accomplished through cultivation. That day the people were born with faith and they were born with wisdom. Why not? Scorpio said. Even if it is a sad face, don't forget to scorn the dragon. Long Fei grinned and looked helpless. Don't say it's useless, tell me directly, what's going on? Long Fei frowned. The eyes of Tianzhu moved and they made a deep sigh and said, it has been said many years ago. Scorpio just opened, and Long Fei directly covered the past with a slap. Talk about the point. Long Fei said quietly. Scorpio eyes. A face of resentment, but in the face of Long Fei, there is nowhere to vent. Kid, wait, break through this area, Lousy finds my master, activates my experience, you must look good. Scorpio swears in his heart. However, it still said, I have already said before, there are some things I have not experienced. But now, what is certain is that this piece of light is the result of the fall of my master. Scorpio said. Immediately there was another grief in the eyes. And the corpse is obviously not used to cover up this breath, preventing me from waking up in advance. Scorpio said. Who is that Tsang? Long Fei asked. This is the point. Not to mention whether it is true or false. The key to all this core is Tsang. Tsang, it is only one of the 8 kings under this fairy screen. However, the owner is too lazy to let him have a chance. If Scorpio said, while Long Fei is in the heart, he is rapidly digesting what Tianyu said. If so it is. The layout of the Tsang must be related to the owner of the Scorpio. That is the night child. Thinking of this, Long Fei has some concerns in his heart. It's about the night, and Long Fei has no idea to think more. He can't touch a woman he believes. As soon as I read this, Long Fei abandoned the Tianzhu and looked directly at the system. System, now that I have completed the task, can I directly enter Tongxian Ranch? Long Fei asked. Yes, but only one player. The system said. A dragon flies. Immediately, he took a deep breath and summoned Jianma and Long Fei. You follow him. What he does for you, you will be able to break this space. But now the time is tight, I don't have time to spend. I am waiting for you on the Tongxian ranch, Long Fei quickly said, and then did not wait for a few people to say, directly start the system, and then the figure disappeared in the same place. Chapter 45-48. Chapter 45-48 Knife? Long Fei will be afraid of him? Non-existent. The blade of the king is in the hand, and Long Fei has absolute confidence. Regardless of the identity of the other party, and regardless of the means of the other party, as long as it is a boss, it is dry. Booming. Bang. At this time, Dong Tianwang waved, directly cracking the landslide, and the mountains and rivers roared. The power is shocking. The kid, relying on the cultivation of the realm of the reverse zone to the peak of the people, dare to arrogate in front of the king? It's too self-sufficient. This knife wants your life. Dong Tianwang is at the top of the house, talking coldly. I have to say that this kind of battle is so majestic that Long Fei feels a little move. The force is too high. Mom, don't talk about strength first, this attitude is forced. Oscar owes you a movie. Long Fei's heart snorted. He is the least likely to see others in front of him. I always thought that others were wastes, and they were vulnerable in front of him. In fact, it is not the case at all. Therefore, Long Fei directly said, to have the life of Laozi, you have to see if you have this qualification. However, there is a saying that you said well, Lao Tzu is now back to you. With your one, the 4 royals who control the earth, the dogs running under the door of Tsang, dare to smash in front of Laozi? Long Fei said faintly. The face of Dong Tianwang finally changed at this time. In the past few years, since the change of the celestial continent, the change of the dynasty, after the control of the palm of the hand, no one will know the title of the 4 royalties. But he didn't know it at all, and he couldn't imagine it. Long Fei control system, this anti-theft artifact, can be seen at a glance. Kid, no wonder the adults pay so much attention to you. It seems that you know a lot. However, you don't know the more you know, the faster you die? Since I know the identity of the king, I dare to be arrogant? Then, give you a death. East Heavenly King still looks disdainful. In his opinion, as long as this knife, Long Fei will die. But at this time, the long knife in the hands of Long Fei suddenly flashed. Go out and go out. The posture is like a sky opening, a fierce stroke. Rumble. Endless knives broke through the sky, and Kowloon roared out. The body of Long Fei is also on top of the giant faucet in the middle, waving a knife, and the town is arrogant. Hey! The endless earth cracked and was cut off by Long Fei. The endless mountains and rivers roared by the dragon. The earth is calm, and the mountains and rivers are silent. At this moment, any words are superfluous. Time and space are in silence. The face of Dong Tianwang changed, and his power was instantly lost to nothingness, and his eyes were full of incredulity. Why don't you have such a power in a district to the peak of people? I don't believe Dong Wangdao, hee. Dong Tianwang's face was unwilling, roaring, and again. And Long Fei, the corner of his mouth is a smile. The power of the East King, he has been smashed. It is simply not vulnerable. Of course, not that he is weak. But now the dragonfly, the physical strength is already against the sky. It's like this. It can be said that the same is the Kowloon royal sky. Now, under the sword of Long Fei, it is 10 times more powerful than the previous power. Ha ha ha, cool. Win the hook. It is simply the opposite of Lao Tzu. Rest assured, I will definitely go to the earth. At that time, the power of the earth's mythological era will be searched casually. Is it not invincible? Long Fei's heart has already imagined. But the mind, but still locked in the East King. At this point, I saw that Dong Tianwang actually went out again. Long Fei is also a step out. Naturally you can't get used to him. Long Fei has always been like this. It can be simple and violent, and it will never waste time and effort. Brush. Between the backhands, Long Fei also slashed a knife. Booming. Roar. 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 Kowloon once again roared out, and the tyrannical direct aggression went away. Hey! For a moment, the power of Dong Tianhuang was instantly annihilated and directly destroyed by Long Fei. Even more than that, because the power of Long Fei has not dissipated, and in the roar of Kowloon, it went directly to the East King. Do not! Dong Tianhuang shouted, and his face changed. All pride and arrogance between this interest does not exist directly. It turned into a panic, as fear of death. No. Impossible, there is absolutely no such thing in the world that I can feel the threat of death. I do not believe. East Wang Yin, give me away. The East King constantly quits, apparently already seeing the power of Long Fei. At the same time, directly in the hands of a large seal. Rumble. Rumble. Suddenly, one of the big prints circling directly above the void, and an extremely powerful force sprang from it. Brush it. A ray of light spurts from it, illuminating the heavens and the earth. In an instant, the entire Tongxian ranch is illuminated by the power of this party. Hey! A loud noise, Long Fei's knife was also suppressed by the power of this big seal. Suddenly, Long Fei slightly frowned. But in a flash, it is ecstasy. There is no God. Long Fei suddenly saw that this East King seal is definitely a supreme being. Too strong. It seems to be the power that accommodates the endless vast land. Extremely thick. Can't miss it, you can't miss it. Ha ha ha, I can't think of it. How long has it not exploded? And, in this big print, you still control the power of the endless earth, it is not too strong. Long Fei heartbeat family members, the eyes are shining, like a hungry man who saw a feast, the face cannot restrain the desire and desire. At this time, Dong Tianhuang saw that Dong Wangyin had shattered the sword of Long Fei, and the figure of the retreat also stopped. On the face of Dong Tianhuang, I seem to see hope in general. After all, he is one of the four royalties, but he has absolutely no desire to escape if he hopes to destroy Long Fei. To their extent, living a face. However, what he did not know was that if he had escaped before, he would at most leave the East King. But now, it's all about sending yourself to death. Long Fei saw Dong Tianhuang go in return, and his eyes are also a glimpse. Very good, I still worry that you will run away, and Laozi will not be able to explode anything else. Long Fei said casually, the strength of the hands reaggregated, and then between the bombardment, the blade of the king of the hand disappeared and became a sword. With a big bang, Long Fei's eyes were firm and his sword was thrown out. Brush. A sword is cold, like an instant eternal, and the direct breaks of the sky between the moments, the glory of the sky, even if the power of the East King seal, under this sword, eclipsed. Dong Tianhuang did not stand firm, just wanted to control Dong Wangyin to reshoot. But at this moment, the feeling of a catastrophe is instantly lingering over my heart. I didn't have time to think about it. He directly abandoned Dong Wangyin and turned and left. However, it is still late. Puff. Long Fei swept a sword and cut off the retreat of Dong Tianhuang. A sword penetrated his heart. Do not. I don't want to die. Several, save me. Dong Tianhuang's body was scattered, unable to stumble, but his eyes still filled with the desire to survive, shouting at the void. Chapter 45-49. Chapter 45-49. Long Fei is also a glimpse. Even the movements in the hands are a meal, and the eyes directly look above the void. Brush it. The light above the void circulates, flashing 3 streams of light, followed by 3 figures directly descending. Kid, stop. Are you tired of living? I dare to wait for me to wait? I don't know what to do. You are already dead and you don't know yourself. You dare to dominate the world and kill the sins of death. Suddenly I had 3 voices fall from the sky. Every voice is arrogant. It's like they are born high and they control the sentient beings. But Long Fei, I don't have a cold at all. With a look of his eyes are full of contempt. He just said that, now I have been beaten by me? Where do you think you can be strong? But it is to send food. Long Fei said faintly. Among the calm scorpions, the heartbeat is difficult to suppress. Boss, boss, boss. All-round boss. Each of these three people is shining with boss golden light, which is extremely dazzling. However, Long Fei is not moving, and with his combat power, it is not difficult to kill a few people. But it is not easy to leave all of them. However, the boss is in front. Long Fei is absolutely not willing to let the other side leave. Therefore, he is now delaying time. Kid, have to say you do have to. Either of us is not your opponent, but don't forget we are three now. You have no chance of winning. If I were you, I would kneel down now and I would suffer from the flesh and blood. The trio said one after another, killing is rampant. Received by Nima. 3 people are very good? If Lao Tzu can kill you, you will explode all 3 of you. Good, isn't it arrogant? Do you think that Lao Tzu does not dare? Sorry, I think too much. In Laozi's dictionary, there is no word. Give me death. Long Fei continued to provoke, and immediately the hands of the sorcerer's sword moved, and a crazy swordsman swarmed out and directly provoked the body of Dong Shenwang. Not a few lives. Kid, stop working. This king can guarantee that you will not kill you today. Dong Tianwang said quickly. This moment I am really scared. The power of the sorcerer's sword is raging in his body. He has the feeling that if Long Fei has another sword, he will die. What he didn't know was that when he appeared in this world, the result was already active. At this point, the threat is open, but it is faster to let him die. Threats? What Laozi is most afraid of is the threat. And I have to look at it, killing you, what will happen? Long Fei mouth corner pick, disdain. At the same time, the power of creation was shocked and directly poured into the sword. No, kid, don't kill me. I am Dong Tianwang, I am the supreme world leader. As long as you don't kill me, I can give you everything you want, no merits, no endless wealth and beauty in the world. What do you want? Do not kill me. And if you kill me, you will be alarmed by the adults, and even if God is resurrected, you will not be able to save you. Dong Tianwang quickly said that he was already soft in the muzzle. However, the more excited he is, the more contemptuous Long Fei's eyes are. It's useless to say nothing, no need to resurrect in the sky. Lao Tzu not only wants to kill you, along with these people, but also the adults behind you. I will never let go. Now die for me. Long Fei said, the sword in his hand was twisted. Laughed. The body of Dong Tianwang was directly smashed and instantly turned into thousands of pieces. The blood of the gods was everywhere and the sky was scattered. At this moment, the 3 people above the void were completely shocked. The face is extremely angry. They never thought that they had arrived, and Long Fei dared to kill the killer. Be bold, you, it seems that today, we have to join forces against the enemy. Well, since Dong Tianwang is already dead, when we kill this kid, we will take over the power of the earth together. Great good. But now I still marry this madman. The 3 men said one by one. Below, Long Fei's eyes are a slight glimpse. It is really sad. Dong Tianwang is still waiting for a few people to save him, but several people have been thinking about how to divide his power from beginning to end. But you can rest assured that soon I will send them to and let them compete. Long Fei said in his heart. At this time, it is too late to think about it, the power of the 3 has fallen from the sky. Cleft and cracked. Sun and moon collapse. Stars change. The 3 shots are killing, and the 3 forces directly impact the heavens and the earth, making the whole space one. Long Fei's heart was tight, and the sorcerer's sword suddenly swayed between the swords. Hey! However, in the blink of an eye, the power of the sword is directly annihilated. And the power of the 3 is still very incomparable. My day, the 3 people are so strong? Long Fei was shocked, and the backhand of the king's blade was shot again. Boom. However, the results are still bursting in an instant. It is the blade of the king, all of which are shocked by the power of 3 people. Puff. Long Fei figure retired. This time confrontation, the 5 internal organs were shocked. A stream of blood spouted. Oh, it's vain struggle. I just said that I have already said that when you are joined by 3 of us, are you still alive? Nothing die, said the 3. And in the eyes of Long Fei, there was also an anxiety color at this time. System, what's the matter? Explosion. I can expect the King of Heaven to explode. Long Fei's heart is in contact with the system. As soon as the 3 were coming, Long Fei had already made a decision. That is the upgrade. Only by upgrading can we have absolute means to kill a few people. Under the boulevard, you can definitely turn the whole game in seconds. What makes Long Fei unexpected is that at this time, the system is actually again. No response at all. I am Nima, the key moment is off the chain. There is no way, only to devour the experienced Dan. Long Fei hated in the eyes. Not good. Just as he put the experienced Dan into the entrance, the power of the 3 people came one after another. Boom. In an instant, the 3 violent forces directly drowned the dragon. Rumble. Rumble. The whole void has become a hollow, as if the heavens and the earth have collapsed, and the dragon is directly suppressed. For a time, above the entire void, they fell into silence. The body of the 3 men stood above the void and looked at the power of the void in the sky. The faces were all overjoyed. Ha ha ha, but that's it. This is our chance, and this kid is too arrogant. I really thought it would make our opponents? Ha ha ha, the power of the earth, and the opportunity that adults promised us, will definitely allow me to wait any further. The 3 people laughed. However, the laughter has not lasted for a few seconds. A roar directly interrupted the laughter of several people. Laugh? Laugh at you. It's cool to play. Reassured, now it is the turn of Lao Tzu, you will definitely let you experience the same. What is sour? Then, the sound of Long Fei appeared and came from the hollow. Chapter 4550. Chapter 4550. In a blink of an eye, it's 1,000. Just in the moment when the power of 3 people hit Long Fei. The sound of the system has lived up to expectations, so that in the heart of Long Fei I am somewhat grateful. Too timely. If it is not the system that bursts out, I am afraid that he will not engulf the experience of Dan, and he will be engulfed by this power. At that time, even if it is not dead, it is seriously injured. However, before the system appeared, it was just a reminder of the upgrade, and directly brought Long Fei back from the edge of the crisis. At the moment, Long Fei's business has appeared. However, the figure still receives the systematic baptism in the outburst of this power. Hey, congratulations to the player Long Fei upgrade. The current level is Super Big 8 layers. Upgrade experience 1000000000000000000 points. Direct upgrade. Originally, Long Fei was only 40 billion yuan away from the upgrade. Now it kills Dongshenwang and directly rewards 50 billion years of experience. After the upgrade, there are more than 10 billion. Of course, the source value will not be less, and the value of the 5 billion yuan will directly push the power of Long Fei to a peak. Coupled with the upgrade, all negative states disappeared. Everything has returned to its peak. But Long Fei is not in a hurry to go out. Anyway, now that it has been upgraded, the hands of the avenue are out, and these people have absolutely no room for resistance. He is still waiting for the sound of the system. Hey, congratulations to the player, Long Fei, killing the East King, and getting the East King's knife. Hey, congratulations to the player to get the East King. Hey, congratulations to the player for the land authority. Hey, congratulations to the players to get the King of the King. Do you want to practice? The system sounds down. East King is a fairy? not practicing. It's too much food, and even the knife of the king's blade can't hold back. It's no use for cultivation. Long Fei heart responded to the system. The higher the realm is now, the means is second. Only the power that can really be crushed is the king. Obviously, the power of Dong Tianhuang is not enough to make Long Fei tempted. On the contrary, there are a few other ones that are truly high-spirited. View the past directly through the system. Dong Wangian, Tong Xian 4 Royal Seals. Grade: the secondary source level. Description: nothing on the refining of the gods, the integration of the will of the heavens and the earth, the power of the earth, the suppression of the heavens. Get it? Suppress all the creatures above the earth. Long Fei's eyes stared at the description of the system. The heartbeat begins to accelerate. It's made, it's awesome. Daoyuan level? Above the creation level? Long Fei thought in his heart. Dongwang Yin will play in his hands and watch the light of the yellow-orange and orange on his captain. There is also a heavy weight that is light and heavy, and the heart is cool. Of course, this is not the key. It is arrogant to suppress the creatures above the earth. However, Long Fei also knows that this is certainly not all, otherwise the power will not be broken by himself. It can only be said that within the relative scope, it is possible to suppress everything above the earth. However, even this is enough to go against the sky. It can be said that this is the sword of Shangfang. Even if it is obtained by an unarmed mortal, it can be made into a and kill the heavens. Long Fei's heart will be depressed and continue to look at the other. The authority of the earth, the power of the law of the mainland. Simple seconds, but still let Long Fei feel in the heart. In terms of comparison, what is the mountain road, compared with this kind of power, is simply a pediatrics. Authority means control. Just like the royal power in the secular, the representative is the control. The authority of the earth, what is represented, is the rule of the earth. I Chao, Chu Shanhai, next time I meet, I will let you know why the flowers are so red. Looking at the power of the law of the earth's authority in the hands, Long Fei's eyes are reappearing, and I can't help but look forward to it. This time, it can be said that it is a big explosion. Ha ha ha, there are 3 such bosses. Explosion, burst. One can't be less. Long Fei's heart is sure, and the belief is greatly increased. Immediately, a punch smashed the aftermath of all power and reappeared above the void. At this point, the 3 people in the void have been forced. Looking at the intact, the dragon is more arrogant than before, and the eyes are very strong. How can this be? Still breaking through? He has come to the realm of realism? How can this be? No, this is not dead. He and I have to wait for 3 people to have a good day. The 3 thoughts are different, but they have a unified expression. That is fear. If they say that Long Fei killed East King, they were just a little shocked. Some movements. So now, it has been replaced by the color of fear. At this point, Long Fei listened to the words of several people, and his mouth could not help but smile. He is? No need. Today you all have to die, Long Fei said quietly. Still thinking about it later? Non-existent. When they appeared in front of Long Fei, when the light of the boss reflected in the eyes of Long Fei, their results are already doomed. That is death. In the face of bosses, even if you pay more, Long Fei will not let go. Moreover, it has been upgraded now. Long Fei also has a killing skill. Can you let them run? Non-existent. Kid, don't be arrogant. You are just lucky. It's just that we are just a tentative attack. This time, you will die. 2. Prepare for the strongest blow. I don't believe he can live. The 3 men looked down and said heavily. Immediately, the strength of the 3 men began to become mysterious. Under the sky, I am the only one. Sun and moon are unparalleled. The power of the stars, the world is boundless. Suddenly, 3 bursts of explosives appeared, followed by 3 forces, directly pushed out from the hands of several people. And Longfei, at this time, is also a bright spot. Law. The law of the sky, the law of the sun and the moon? Star law. Longfei has a sense of directness in his heart. At the same time, Longfei also swept through the system page. The identity of the three people is also clear. The same is the four royal. One controls the sky, one is in charge of the sun and the moon, and one is in charge of the stars. Both are creation plus level bosses. Everything is like what Longfei thinks. Dry. Mom, song is, this time, I will let you understand that everything is hindered. In front of Laozi, it is a stepping stone for Laozi to become more and more frustrated. When you take Laozi as a pawn, Laozi will give your doglegs a discount. The hand of the avenue drop. As soon as I read it, Longfei's heart was lifted and the big hand waved. Rumble. Rumble. For a moment, above the void, a pair of big hands smashed the sky and descended from the sky. Endless rhythm and supreme atmosphere instantly suppressed the audience. You Tianwang? Sun and Moon King and Star King, right? Are you ready to die? Longfei said coldly. When the hand of the avenue came out, the fate of several people has been judged. What rules do you have? The road is in my hand, everything else is slag. Longfei has been waiting, three people are violent, cool. Chapter 45-51. Chapter 45-51. The road is in my hand. This is the strongest killing of Longfei, no one. Even the slaying skills of the sorcerer's sword can't compare. The hand of the avenue came out, ignoring the level, ignoring the repair, and indiscriminate crushing. As long as it is cultivated as a category that has never been abrupt, it is not a foreign body. If it is not a person outside the law, there will be no second result. There is only one, that is to be suppressed. Nowadays, in the midst of killing, the hand of Longfei Shizhan Avenue has long been holding the heart of murder. As long as it is a boss, there is no hesitation. It is bursting. At this time, the Royal King, the Sun and the Moon King, the Star King, the three have been completely circled. Their power, at this moment, directly solidifies in the void. It seems to be the power of the branch, and it touches the subject. Solidified between moments. All the Ray words are directly slamming at this moment, and the power of is disappearing. It seems that in the face of the power of Longfei, it is self-defeating. What power is this? Is it purely incomparable? Over the road above heaven and earth? Impossible, this is impossible. How can this power be in the hands of an unknown waste? The three roared. I can't believe what I saw. At the same time, everyone's heart also gave birth to an idea. That is to escape. A sense of powerlessness is directly above their mind. Impossible? It's just that you don't know it. The big one is also what you can imagine. In front of my strength, your heavenly path is a joke. Longfei said indifferently. At this time, the hand of the avenue was even under pressure. Booming. Hey! The power of the three, in this instant, directly collapse. What is the law of the sky, the power of the sun and the moon, the light of the stars? In a blink of an eye, all collapse. It's three people, at this moment it's also a heavy fall from the void. The endless boulevard pressure, oppressed on three people. In an absolutely sturdy posture, crushed and destroyed. Puff puff. The trio had no accidents and directly vomited blood. Don't close your hand, kid. No, adults, I am willing to be a slave to the slaves, willing to sacrifice the Prince of the Sky, and in the future, the adults will be respected, as long as the adults can make me a dog. Yes, adults, me too, I am willing to dedicate the heart of the sun and the moon. In the future, the sun and the moon will be, and the adults will be eternal. And me, I am willing to give the light of the stars. Under the stars of the future, adults will be unparalleled. Suddenly, the three directly asked for mercy. This scene was as early as expected by Longfei. But the same is also expected. Before, the hand of the avenue came out, directly killing, where there will be opportunities for the other side to beg for mercy. Unexpectedly, the other party is still struggling. It seems that the power of the hand of the avenue needs to be improved. Long Fei thought of it. Instinctively, I immediately thought of the system sister. The current system is similar to hosting, and everything is a result of the system's own operation. If the system girl wakes up, then when the deductive power of the day is exerted, it will be able to push the next state of the hand of the avenue. But now, the system sister is asleep, this idea can only think about it. In one thought, Long Fei returned to the heart and looked at the three people who were pleading for mercy on the ground. Eyes are indifferent, not at all moved. Beg for mercy? Does not exist. Being kind to the boss is cruel to yourself. Will you leave your chance to leave? Impossible. Now beg for mercy? Don't you think it's too stupid? Xing sure moved people to kill me, now I want to ask for excuse if I am not an opponent? Which is such a good thing in the world. As for what you said, killing you, Lao Tzu has everything, a lot. A few words in the cold, Long Fei's eyes sank, and then his right hand slightly lifted, and then rolled down again. With the action of Long Fei, above the void, the hand of the avenue is also falling. Rumble. The power of true silence is sweeping over and over, directly suppressing the three people. After a while, Long Fei closed his hand. Between heaven and earth, there has been no smell of three people. I rub? Wouldn't it be crushed directly? System, it won't be ruined with everything. Suddenly, Long Fei was in a panic. In my heart, I even hate myself for being too embarrassed. This is three super bosses. If nothing can burst, wouldn't he let his bamboo baskets fetch water? Yes, it is at this time. The sound of the system appears quietly. Hey, congratulations to the players to kill Yu Tianwang, gaining 50 billion experience. The source value is 5 billion, and the violent value is 1 point. And, 3 times in a row, appearing one after another. This is only certain on the face of Long Fei. Since the system can make a sound, it means that this time the three bosses, no one is spared, all burst out. Hey, congratulations to the players for the great print. Hey, congratulations to the players for their prints. Hey, congratulations to the players for the heart of the sun and the moon. Hey, congratulations to the player for the sun and moon. Hey, congratulations to the player for the light of the stars. Hey, congratulations to the players for the stars. Then, it was a prompt from the system. Long Fei's eyes have been changed. Look at this violent thing, the heart is slowed down half a beat. Ha ha ha, a lot all burst. System, this time, power. Finally let lousy cool off once. Long Fei laughed in his heart. Looking at the things that broke out this time, my heart is straightforward. For the long time, this is the first big explosion. It's just cool. It doesn't have to be violent at all, it is already like violent. All he wanted, all burst out. 3 bosses, one quite a lot. Then, Long Fei's gaze was viewed one by one on the things that broke out. The sky is big, the heart of the sun and the moon, the light of the stars? As far as the East King is printed, the existence of the secondary source level is arrogant. There is only, but it is also the real power of heaven and earth. Bell. Long Fei sighed in his heart. Then look at the other. The information of the celestial seal, the sun and the moon, and the stars are also presented in front of Long Fei. It is in general with the authority of the earth, a force that condenses the will of the heavens and the earth, and is strong enough to explode. Long Fei loved it, but did not continue refining. This kind of power is enough for him to be cool on this continent, and it will be useless in the future to return to the world. And Long Fei, this time, has a chance to thoroughly look at this Tongxian ranch. Because several people have been killed, the entire space has begun to become unstable. The vastness of the earth, the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars have become violent, as if they have lost control. I rub, don't you have to collapse again? Long Fei is speechless. This Tongxian road is exactly the same as the copy. One layer after another. I just didn't expect that the first layer would just collapse. Chapter 45-52. Chapter 45-52. Somewhere, between the clouds and the sea, there is an endless purple breath in the hustle and bustle, which seems to be a fairyland. Suddenly, a figure suddenly surprised. Is it going to kill the four royalties? Is that kid so powerful? Shouldn't it be, the repair of his peak to the peak of the people, can be the opponent of the four royalties? Or is she coming back? The incomparable figure whispered. And by his side, Chu Shanhai, the magic sense Xian, and Zhan Tai Ling Xiu's cautious snuggling on the side, shut up without saying. This person, several people are fighting. I haven't had the spirit of the past. Adult. It shouldn't be that kid. The kid is not weak, but it is stronger than me. It is impossible to be the opponent of four adult. Chu Shanhai said with courage. It's too hard to stand. Just a repressed breath, let him have a feeling of trepidation. You can only find an excuse to open your mouth and turn around the emotions of those in front of you. It shouldn't be him. I have seen his power. It is definitely not so powerful. But the four royals are indeed dead. The kind that directly kills the dead, completely disappears, and there is no more between them. The figure continued. Suddenly, a blue light suddenly appeared between the heavens and the earth. The blue light suddenly became the main style of the whole void. But, just for a moment, it disappeared. The face of Chu Shanhai and others changed, and they all felt the horror of this blue light. And the figure in front of me is at this moment. Impossible, how can that thing run out? The figure was shocked, and the whole body was up and down. Terror is incomparable. Even this figure began to fade out, and a strange and unpredictable smell disappeared. Incarnate into a middle-aged man. However, the three people in Chushanhai, while seeing the middle-aged man, immediately fell without warning. The atmosphere does not dare to take a breath. As a kind of worshipping the world, it is extremely humble. But the man did not pay attention, but the constant incitement in his hands. Variable. Long Fei, this is your dog thing. The cat was put out. The middle-aged man is furious. The eyes were burning in anger, and the forehead was violent. Obviously it has reached the edge of the explosion. This time, the Chushanhai three people feel the pressure multiplier, even if they are already on the ground, still feel the horrible power raging above the flesh. It seems like you want to tear them apart. Adult. Adults are forgiving. Adults are angry. The three directly asked for mercy. The middle-aged men in front of them are the insurmountable days of their lives. They don't need to be targeted at all, but they can make them feel uncomfortable. The middle-aged man snorted and the whole body breathed. Looking at it, if it is really the kid who puts that thing out, then the four royals are not opponents. And, with the cat leading the way, it shouldn't be difficult to find it. It seems that it is pushing the plan to open the plan ahead of time. You three, let me go, the middle-aged man said. Then the flash of light in the hand directly opens a star map. The next moment, the middle-aged man stepped into it. The three men met face to face, and then, with a gaze, they went in without hesitation. And all this, Long Fei naturally does not know. At this time, Long Fei is still in the Tongxian ranch. Before the emptiness of the void, he thought that this space would collapse again, but did not expect that it was the Scorpio with dragon flying and Jianma that had broken through the layer of top-secret space and came down. Haha, kid, how? This adult has long been fierce, and that space can't stop me. Now take me to my host. The figure has not arrived yet. Scorpio has already gotten up. At this time, Long Fei and Jianma have apparently been convinced by Scorpio and behind Tianju. Long Fei licked his mouth. Is there a fart? I have killed 4 bosses and show off. Naive. Long Fei said disdain. Even if you know that the identity of Scorpio is not simple, Long Fei does not add color. Let a cat force it in front of you? Non-existent. Boss? What boss? Scorpio stunned, and then the nose moved. In an instant, the pupil of the Scorpio shrank. You killed 4 royals? Scorpio was horrified, his feet kept moving, and he jumped up and down. A few breaths of time went straight in the void. How did you do it? The 4 royalties are so powerful, how could you kill them? Scorpio said suspiciously. The eyes are full of incredible. Looking up and down, Long Fei, his eyes are complicated. Nothing is impossible. So, it's useless to be arrogant in front of Lousy. I heard no. Long Fei said. Scorpio is directly dumb. Unsatisfied, with angry eyes flashing blue light, but seeing the eyes of Long Fei, but hard to wash their emotions. Aside, Jianma couldn't help but swear. The boss is the boss. Such a strong presence, but also have to bow in front of the boss. Jianma sighed and ushered in the glare of Tianju. At this point, Scorpio's eyes looked at Long Fei. Don't say that there is nothing, I will ask you, where is my master now? When can I take my owner? Scorpio asked. Directly avoided the topic of collision with Long Fei. Because he already understood that in front of Long Fei, he could not find any sense of existence. The show is also a white show. However, it is self-deprecating. Long Fei looked condensed and looked at Tianju. Really, I also want to know where they are. Long Fei shrugged his shoulders. In his heart, I don't want to find out more about the night. Now there is no one in this fairyland. It can be said that Tongxian Road has become meaningless now. Before Tianju had not yet developed itself, Long Fei thought that there was the beginning of Tongxian Road. It seems that it is not at all. Although the inexplicable piece of Tongxian stone monument is still a mystery, but it has nothing to do with the overall situation. Long Fei is too lazy to guess. The biggest possibility is simply to suppress the Scorpio. What Long Fei didn't know was that at this time, Tianju directly fried hair. What? Boy, dare you play me? The mood of the Scorpio changed, as if it touched the scales in the heart, and was extremely angry. Long Fei did not agree, faintly said, although I don't know where your master is now, I can be sure that he has disappeared after entering this piece of Tongxian Road. That is, want to find your master. You must take me and walk the whole road. Long Fei said. What surprised Long Fei was that when his voice just fell, the system sound suddenly appeared in his mind. Hey, congratulations to the player to start the 3rd stage of the mission, Toot Song. Chapter 45-53. Chapter 45-53. Long Fei's heart is excited. He thought that the 2nd phase of the mission has not yet been completed, and I can't think of the level of the 3rd phase of the mission. Toot Song? Killing the sky? Is it still killing the sky? Or killing the sky in the mouth of the sky? Long Fei question mark 3 companies. Mainly the system's 9 or 6 tips are too sloppy, not at all accurate. If it is before, Long Fei will never have such a question. Because he knows, but it is a man. But now, from the mouth of Scorpio, I already know that his master, once was the sky. If this task is really related to the Night Child, then do you want to continue? Killed the Night Child? Long Fei asked himself. He couldn't hold this heart. However, the system does not have any other hint. Some of the rules are out of order. The game is also updated regularly, and the system is still the same? It has never changed since the last system reset. Before the end, the system is still changing continuously, just like the update. Among them, the most cherished system for Long Fei is the killing system. But now, the system has never changed, even if it has been repaired to this point, it still remains unchanged. If the system girl wakes up, it will be fine, at least not so ambiguous about the system task. Long Fei thought of it. But it's fast. When the system sister wakes up, Lao Tzu will open the peak of life. Play the most fierce wilderness, kill the strongest enemy, sleep the most beautiful girl. Long Fei thought, expecting infinitely. But this thought was quickly suppressed by Long Fei. Now, what is really in front of you is the top priority. That is the third stage of the mission. At this time, Scorpio stepped forward and looked at the area in front of him. His look was extremely dignified. This expression, placed on a cat, is very funny. But no way, Long Fei has become accustomed to watching the cat perform in front of himself. You kid, you have been cheated. This is not a pass through the road. Now I already know that this is just the relic of the fall of Xianting. And this area is just the town of Xianting. Scorpio said. For Long Fei, it is directly denied. Palace of the town? A corner of Xianting? There is no Tongxian Road? Long Fei is also a glimpse, and his eyes are full of doubts. Scorpio's identity is unusual, he already knows. Otherwise, the people behind the scenes will not be overwhelmed and suppressed. It is precisely because of this that, for the words of Scorpio, there will be doubts. Yes, this adult is extremely certain, this is the corner of Xianting. And I have already wanted to understand where I used to suppress this adult. There is the middle mezzanine between Xianting and Wanlinghai. Hate, Tsang, this old and undead, actually suppressed Laozi there. If it wasn't for the greatness of this great man, he wouldn't know how to die. Tianzhu resented. However, Long Fei has selectively removed the words at this time. According to Tianzhu, this so-called Tongxian Road is the words of Xianting. The shadow of this game has already emerged. Before, Scorpio had not said it again, Tsang was a chaotic thief, and he wanted to swear. Then, combined with the present Xianting fall, it is not difficult to guess that all this is just a means of Tsang. The purpose of Tsang, afraid of being targeted, is also the master of Scorpio. That is the Night Child. It seems that the task has to be put aside first, you have to find them first. Long Fei thought. For the third phase of the mission, the system does not have any strict time limit. If you want to really complete the task, it is the key to find the Night Child. Thinking of this, Long Fei said directly, Scorpio, I am sure that your master must be in this area. Can you perceive it? Long Fei asked. I don't know. You don't know how big Xianting is. This town is a prison, but it is a place to suppress the cholera world. It is the lowest level of immortality. That is to say, here is the lowest level of the whole area. Even if the owner really came here, it is to find the foundation of his own time and look for the power to regain the heavenly position. That should be the center, there is nothing at all here, said Tian Hao. But the eyes are full of endless expectations. Now that you know the position, it is easy to find even if you are looking for it. But nothing, I will lead the way and I will find it soon. This is my back garden. The figure of this adult was everywhere. Scorpio said. Long Fei's heart is scorned. But silent. Anyway, this cat has a label in his heart. That is to force a set. It seems that for him, there is no time to force it. Simply put, this is a cat that is not serious. However, Long Fei's heart is also certain at this time. After all, since Scorpio is so determined, it can directly save a lot of time. Let's go, this adult will take you to see the old fairy court. The sky is so embarrassing, swaying and swinging out, step out. Long Fei shook his head. Master, this goods are good? How do I have an urge to kill him? Said Jianma. Originally, he was still full of fear of Scorpio. But it is not good. In particular, seeing this attitude toward Long Fei is even more unacceptable to his heart. I don't want to endure it at all. Calm, don't pay attention to him. Wait for your master, I will sleep with its owner. He won't dare to be arrogant when he arrives. Long Fei said. Behind him, Jianma was directly sluggish for a minute, as if the brain was short-circuited. But in a flash, it was a big laugh. Then, quickly catch up with the pace of Long Fei. In a blink of an eye, time passed 2 days. In 2 days, the waves were not shocked. It seems that with the death of the 4 royals, here is a falling fairy. Nothing at all. Any danger no longer exists. This kind of encounter made Long Fei feel very uncomfortable. Originally, I was planning to madly collect a wave of experience. Now it seems that it is impossible. However, the 2 days are not nothing. At least, under the leadership of Scorpio, all the way is like a broken bamboo, directly into the hinterland of Xianting. And in front of the scene, let Long Fei not only scream. Very vast. Despite the ruin, the wreckage of the broken arm that is everywhere is still revealing infinite light. It is conceivable that Xianting, which has not been defeated, is in full swing. But at this time, Scorpio stopped directly. I feel it. Master. The owner is really here. Ha ha ha, the master has come back. I know that with the thing of Tsang, even if he is arrogant, it is impossible to really let the master fall. Tianju excited. Chapter 45-54. Chapter 45-54. Long Fei's eyes are also a condensation. At this moment, he also felt the unusualness of the land in front of him. This feeling makes Long Fei feel very familiar, but can't say where it was encountered. This feeling. Everything in front of me is extremely strange. Long Fei can be sure that he has never been to this place. However, I don't know why, I always feel like myself, as if I have been there before. The atmosphere in front of me was too strange, and let Long Fei feel an invisible pressure to suppress in my heart. Very vast. It is hard to describe. It is like a feeling of towering. Even if a person is stronger, he will feel small. Ha ha ha, do you feel it? This is the atmosphere of my master? Is this the strength of my master? How? Do you feel that you are very small? Tell you, my master is heaven. Scorpio is very proud, and his eyes are full of madness. It seems that for a long time, I finally found a sense of existence in front of Long Fei. Let him can't help but want to show off. Let the dragon fly down. Yes, he thought it was too simple. Who is Long Fei? Will you care about this? All the worlds have fought in the world, and the kings of the heavens have killed the dogs and chickens. Will it be humbled by a kind of oppression? Non-existent. Oh, you think too much. I have experienced countless planes. The so-called heaven is just a category defined by people who are highly educated. Again, the gods of the gods have killed me? Do you think I will be afraid? And when the dragon flies at the corner of his mouth, there is a smile. Just didn't say it. But the expression is to squint at the sky. Scorpio is directly forced. And what? Scorpio asked. Nothing, you will know when you get there, Long Fei said. But no explanation. Sometimes the words are too clear, but not beautiful. At this time, in the front, a figure suddenly appeared. Not who can be a white deer. However, at this time, the white deer is somewhat wrong, and the whole person directly said that it is impossible to describe it. The white deer before entering the entrance to Tongxian Road is only the first time to be repaired. But now, Long Fei can't see through. You must know that Long Fei is now a super successful 8-day, just repairing, it has already surpassed the return of the world. But now I can't see the white deer, which means that the repair of the white deer is at least already on the bottom. At this time, Jianma is also shocked. This is the kid? How is it possible that his cultivation may advance to such an extent? Impossible. It's too unreasonable, Jianma said, completely shocked. During this period of time, the infinite killing made him feel that his power is becoming more and more tyrannical. It was still smug. But now I can see the white deer, completely gone. Only one pot of cold water was poured in an instant. Also at this time, the white deer has slowly moved toward the dragon. Boss! The white deer said to Long Fei. His eyes are extremely complicated. However, this boss is extremely sincere, and has not changed before. Long Fei's heart is loose. Very pleased. Originally, He thought that the white deer would change because of the cultivation, or that he knew something about it. The relationship between them would change. But now, from the attitude of the white deer can be seen. As originally, the red is still. Yes, I can't think of it for a few days. Your repairs have already reached this level. Have you recovered your memory? Long Fei asked. I don't think the boss has already guessed it. I just thought about how to explain it, said the white deer. Explain what? You are my brother, I want to believe you, Long Fei said. Since it has been identified, there will be no doubt. Well, thank you, boss. But there is something to tell you, said the white deer. His eyes hesitated. What's wrong? Long Fei asked. In fact, there is nothing about it. It is about big brothers, said the white deer. The look also became extremely dignified. Night child. Long Fei glimpsed and immediately looked at the depth. Intuition tells him that the things that white deer wants to say must be related to the night. Boss, in fact, I think if you can, don't tie up with her. His identity is a bit complicated. And, here is not what Tongxian Road, the so-called Tongxian Road, is just a scam. How long will it take? Here is fear that there will be a big battle you will not be able to fight. I can cast you away, and by the means of the boss, there will be no one can keep you in the mainland. Said very heavy. What are you talking about? Is Long Fei the kind of person who gives up the brother and gives up the woman? As for her identity, I don't have to say that I already know that at most, it is the supreme ruler of Tongxian mainland, the master of Xianting, right? Long Fei said. Poor language with a bit of atmosphere. He is not the atmosphere that will be the white deer's distrust of him, but the atmosphere will let the white deer leave him. He has been violent, killed, wounded, hurt, and died. He is not afraid of it. Control who you are, do not accept it. Moreover, it is related to his brother. Let Long Fei withdraw himself? Impossible. I saw the white deer. I didn't expect Long Fei's reaction to be so big. Boss, I am just. The white deer is open to the language, but he has not spoken yet and is directly interrupted by Long Fei. War? Are you talking about the man called Song? If it is him, I don't have to retire. Because I have been in this world since he started. He is a person who will kill. Long Fei said. Up to now, Long Fei has long known that he entered the world from the Sea of Stars and has an inevitable connection with Song. The system task, now in the third stage, is also very likely to beat Song. Therefore, no matter from any angle, Long Fei is impossible to retreat. At this point, the white deer is looking at Long Fei with a look of horror. He knows that Long Fei is unusual, especially after restoring the memory. He can feel the speciality of Long Fei. However, even if he did not think that Long Fei had already been involved with Song. Oh, it seems that everything is doomed. In this case, then our brothers will join hands and do him, said the white deer. This is right, I will never abandon my brother, and I will never be jealous. I will control who he is, and he will do it. Long Fei mouth smiled and said. Then, the words turn. However, should I tell me now, what is your identity? Long Fei asked. The white deer took a deep breath and looked at Long Fei with a dignified look. Boss, I am actually a grave guard. Chapter 45-55. Chapter 45-55 Keep the Grave? Or Before the Ages? In the words of the white deer, Long Fei is in a state of procrastination. Shake the white deer gently. This is a bit complicated, and it involves a period of history before the immortal world. Since the boss knows the existence of Tsang, and has conquered the cat, the 66 should have speculated about what happened in the past. In a nutshell, Tsang Tutian, I keep the tomb. That's it, said the white deer. It seems to be caught in a history of sleep. As the years of darkness and heaviness, at this time, it is also a sad face. Contact various species, Long Fei has guessed. Tu Tian? Keep the tomb? Long Fei glimpsed. It is impossible to form a picture in my mind. Although the white deer said it is simple, but the history contained in it is afraid of being extremely dark. Yeah, boss, the thief is heart-wrenching, trying to control the fate of thousands of people. If it wasn't for a person who appeared in the past, he would turn the tide and build a tomb for the heavens, casting a turn back. I am afraid that now, Song has completely controlled the mainland. There is no such thing as it is now. I am able to survive, to rebuild the military, and because of the means of that person, said the white deer, but also with a few fortunate. Who? Long Fei suddenly burst into the heart and asked. Instinct, the first thing that emerged in the mind of Long Fei was Longbation. For a moment, Long Fei felt that all his mind was mobilized. No way, Longbation is like a dog's skin plaster, sticking to his body, and the layout is far away. No matter how he gets rid of it, he never breaks away from the shadow of the dragon. It's a woman, said the white deer. Woman? Long Fei glimpsed. But my heart is relaxed. No matter who it is, as long as it is not a dragon, it will do. Yes, after the woman came, she turned the tide and smashed Song and others away from one space. Then she applied the great magic to the snow of the Lord of the Immortal, and then cast the reincarnation channel, so that the Lord of the Immortal reincarnation was rebuilt. The white deer said, with a few minutes in his eyes, it seems that he still can flash through the original picture. So powerful? Long Fei was shocked. I immediately thought of the goddess of the great sun. According to Jiang Chuanqiu, the goddess of the great Yang dynasty once entered the infinite star sea. However, in a flash, Long Fei denied his guess. The timeline is simply not right. The goddess of the great Yang dynasty entered this area, and it was not too long to calculate from the Wanjie. Therefore, it is impossible to be her. It's just awesome. It's just violent. Really, boss, I think even if you are, you will feel amazing to the woman, said the white deer. Long Fei is not allowed. Did not say too much. The heavens are boundless, and the strong are countless. Long Fei also never thinks that he is invincible. But his path has always been moving in the direction of invincibility. No matter who it is, he can't stop him. However, the next sentence of the white deer, but let the dragon fly in the heart, suddenly gave birth to a kind of mother who did not know when to talk about him properly. Boss, this is why I advised you to give up the amnesty in front of me. When the woman cast the reincarnation channel, she said that when the main round of Xianting returns, she will become her daughter-in-law. Cough, so boss, anyway, I see that you don't have a deep relationship with her now, it's better, said the white deer. Obviously, the jealousy of the woman in his mouth is deep. Long Fei slightly frowned. Has not yet opened, Jianma has said. Bastard kid, how, when you restored your previous cultivation and memory, you become embarrassed? Are you not lawless? Now you have to push the owner's woman out? Do you want to die? Jianma is very angry. Apparently, I think that everything that white deer said now is very complicated. You know a fart from a beast. The white deer glanced at the billed horse. Looking at Long Fei again, I am obviously looking forward to Long Fei accepting his own advice. But is it possible? The woman he identified can be handed over? Non-existent. Unless it is the night child, there is no such idea, otherwise no matter who it is impossible to let Long Fei compromise. Looking at the face of Long Fei, the white deer, already know the answer, helplessly sigh. At this time, Long Fei's eyes suddenly looked at the white deer. Since you have said this, then that is, the night child is the former lord of Xianting? Long Fei asked. There is some excitement between the faint hearts. The dream has come true. A generation of female emperors, the master of Xianting. As a result, Long Fei is even less likely to let go. Well, if everything goes well, Daxi is the lord of Xianting. The white deer said. His face suddenly became heavy. A dragonfly? What do you mean? Long Fei asked. The sound just fell. The picture of Long Fei's mind flashed, and the second personality of the night's fascination suddenly emerged in his mind, as well as the black-faced nightmare that was seen under the darkness of the dark mysterious sect, and a fluster was born in his heart. All the best. If it doesn't go well, it won't be the return, right? Long Fei asked urgently. And the white deer is also a miserable smile. Boss, this is why I advise you. This reincarnation seems to be somewhat unusual. Originally, I wanted to divide the 3 corpses in one world. After returning, I will integrate the power of Xianting and return to the peak. I didn't expect that 3 corpses were divided into 3. And Daxi is the 3rd world, and it is also a good corpse among the 3 corpses. Even the body carries the first ID. Now, the 3 have already fought each other in front of the source of Xian Ting left on the same day, said the white deer, a helpless face. No matter which one is now, it is not what he can provoke. He is a graveguard. But listening to the dragon flying mouth, but it is not happy. 3 corpses fighting? If you say so, is it dangerous now? Long Fei's forehead wrinkled and said quietly. Relatively speaking, Dalat should be the least competitive one. But there is no way. This kind of thing can only be done by themselves. We can't help anyone. Otherwise, it may affect the power after her return, said the white deer, a helpless face. But Long Fei can't bear it. As for the impact after returning, he does not care. Without a word, I turned directly to the central location. Boss, will open the white deer, but see Long Fei's perseverance, direct reception. Kid, the master's temper, you still don't understand, the owner can decide what can stop. Jianma also took the white deer at this time. Only Scorpio at this time is a face dissatisfaction. Kid, what do you want to do? Do you want to interfere with my master's return? Asked Tianger, jumping straight directly in front of Long Fei. Chapter 45-56. Chapter 45-56 Wanyuwanjia, under the starry field of endless fire. Jojo stood in the flames, his eyes staring at the void. Extremely lonely. Even if it is an endless flame, you can't let your face burn like a fire. Hey husband, where are you? Jojo whispered in his mouth. She is the only one who has watched Long Fei fall into the endless sea of stars. For everyone, she has told me. After the people in the Long Ting were taken to the Phoenix Valley, they were closed. No matter who asks, it just means that Long Fei will retreat in a secret environment and will return when he breaks the limit. But what she didn't know was that her mind, such as Lu Luoshi Yuru and others, had already seen the clues. Especially they are all people who know Long Fei plans. Just to stabilize the people, no one ever asked. Just because they firmly believe that Long Fei will return safely. Jojo, rest assured, my husband has come all the way. How many evil places have come over? This time, there will be no accidents. Suddenly, Jojo heard a voice in his ear and suddenly turned around. He was seeing Luluoxi, Yuru, Oya, and Hongqiu. You guys. Jojo was surprised. I didn't expect a few people to suddenly appear. Jojo, actually we all know. However, we also believe that my husband will be able to return safely. Moreover, I have a hunch, and soon my husband will come back. Luluoshi said. Jojo's eyes flashed in tears, but he finally endured it. Yes, Long Fei brother will be safe and sound. But at this time, a loud bang suddenly appeared in the sky above the Phoenix Valley. Everyone's face changed. Is it that the people of Xuanjie are attacking? Luluo Creek said. For a time, everyone's face became extremely embarrassing. No. This is not to attack the Phoenix Valley, but to announce the world. This is the ancestral power of Kirin. Jojo said, his eyes are very incomparable. She has already gained the power of Yuan Feng, so she is most sensitive to this level of strength. What is Kirin Zuli, Jojo? Asked Yuro. At the beginning of the heavens and the earth, the 3 groups of dragon and phoenix unicorns are in the world. I have got the power of the phoenix before, and now this power is the power of Kirin. Jojo said solemnly. That should have no effect on us? Yuro frowned and thought about another result. But Jojo shook his head. If a person who is a unicorn has received this power, it will not be too influential. But if this person is a respected person? Jojo said. Suddenly, a dead silence. I am going to retreat. I am striving to bring the strength left by my husband to the extreme. Luluashi said. I am coming too. Me too. Several people have said one after another. In the blink of an eye, only Jojo was left in the field. Husband, come back soon. No gods and vulgarity. After finishing, Jojo's figure has not entered the endless fire. At this time, among the honors, Zun is also staring at the incomparably huge unicorn on the void. Xiantian. There is a lot of respect. Ha ha ha, respect the adults, I have got the unicorns. Now my strength has reached the peak of this world. I feel that as long as I think in my heart, if I punch down, I will be able to destroy countless worlds and endless stars. Above the void, Xiantian said lightly. The face of respectfulness has changed slightly. Looking coldly at Xiantian, what? This is the reason why you see this place without paying respect? Said Zun. The sound is unusually cold. Obviously, I was extremely dissatisfied with Xiantian's attitude at this time. Xiantian glimpsed slightly, his eyes frowned, and his eyes became a straight line. You Zun. To the extent that you and me do not care about these details? Xiantian said. This statement is out, above the honor, countless people are full of anger in the eyes. Look to the void, let's go. Xiantian, don't forget, your life is given by adult. Not an adult, you are a dead dog. So even if you are alive now, you are also a running dog for adult. What are the qualifications to make irresponsible remarks in front of adult? Suddenly, someone said. That is, don't look at what you are. Even if you are a foreigner, you are just a dog. Now come to Zuanjie, the tail still wants to go up to the sky. Do not sneak in the urine to take care of yourself. Damn thing. One after another. The people of Zuanjie are from me. Beyond the respect of the world, they are all ant. At this time, even the ancient world is a non-influential existence before their respectful interface. This level, obeying them as a dog is already a supreme honor. Now, with a little strength, they dare to show their fangs, and they can't let them tolerate. Not to mention them, even if they are respectful, this time is also a look of anger, watching Xiantian said. Do you think that you can get arrogant in front of the deity when you get the unicorn ancestral force? Xiantian stunned, watching the calm and incomparable at this time, the brain spinning rapidly. Why can he be so calm? Is it true that Kirin's Zuli is not enough? Impossible, Kirin Zuli is so powerful, why can he not move? What kind of reliance does he have? In an instant, Xiantian's mind flashed countless possibilities. Finally, a heavy bow. Xiantian does not dare. Xiantian's life is given by Yuzun. Even if Xiantian is cultivated to be stronger, it is impossible to rebel. Xiantian bowed his head and directly recognized it. In the face of such indifferent respect, there is no courage to resist. Oh, you know. Fortunately, you know each other, otherwise the deity can make you born again, and it can make you die. First shut down and stabilize the power. After a day, the deity will let you return to the ancient world, conquer the ancient world, and once again dominate. Zun said. And Xiantian, at this time, his eyes lit up, followed by a light of hatred breeding in his eyes. The picture turns again and returns to Longfei. At this time, Longfei's face is already the hinterland of Xianting. Kid, stand up, if you dare to go forward, even if you die, I will stop you. The first time I was worried. Although he has never been transformed into a giant, the power of the whole body has begun to burst. It is Longfei, and the brow is also a wrinkle. However, it is impossible to let Long Fei retreat. Get out! I am saving your master. And do you think you can stop me with the present? Long Fei said that the footsteps were once again moving, and they passed through the Scorpio directly in one step. They directly avoided the power of Scorpio and turned a blind eye. Kid, you are deceiving too much. Do you know what you are doing? If you interfere with the normal return of the master, then there is no hope in this world? The sky screamed and said. And Long Fei, the footsteps are also a meal at this time. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.